Sorry it took so long. We had to get the dogs all situated. All right. So, first of all, I want to greet everybody, let you guys know that apologies for no show on Wednesday, but we have had serious weather. That's my business. I can't avoid it. During this time of year, as I said in my post, I was telling you guys that when it's severe weather, I do storm restoration. Roofing, fires, floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, whatever, whether it's, high wind or it doesn't really matter. And we've had hailstorms and we've had high windstorms. So I'm going to be busy doing that for a little while. Other than that, I will be getting you guys as much videos as I can. I'll be taking videos on site, stuff like that. I'll be doing some live, hopefully on spot with a camera here coming up very, very soon. But let's jump right into it. We've got a pretty big story here. This is something that's been going on for, I think, about a week now, or maybe 5 days. Timcast actually had this on his show, and one other post got sent to me. But as you can see here, they were trying to say that Andrew Tate had lung cancer. And he came out and avidly said that that's, bullshit. Andrew Tate shuts down cancer rumors, is accused of recruiting politicians to his cause. This is, of course, Andrew Tate. This is his brother. And him and Tristan have now been in jail. I think it's coming up on 100 days. I forget exactly how many it is, but he's been there for way too long with no evidence against him. But also remember, in the Romanian government, they can hold you with no evidence for 180 days. And it's not like it's some, county jail. They're in a prison-style jail in Romania, cells and everything, okay? I don't believe they have any visitation, and I don't think anyone's been able to see them personally, except for whenever they're doing interviews like this. Like, see how they're handcuffed right there? So they're letting them come out and make statements, but I don't think anyone's able actually to come in and see them. Rumors that controversial influencer, this obviously is a site. This is one of the very few ones I can actually find a story on, but they're going to either be neutral on these sites with him, and they're going to be negative. I haven't seen really any be positive unless it was somebody on YouTube talking about him specifically. Rumors that controversial influencer and current Romanian detainee, that's what they're calling them, and it's a prison-like situation, Andrew Tate, had been diagnosed with lung cancer, seemingly confirmed by one in his inner circle, which I don't know why they would do that whenever he came on live and actually disputed it. It's one of his really close friends. I believe he's also Muslim or converted to the Muslim religion, as well as, because him and Tristan did as well. I've been disputed by him himself. On Saturday, a person who goes by the sartorial shooter said on Instagram, "A lot of people are asking me if Tate lung cancer story is true. Yes, it's true. I was the one driving with him to and from the hospital in Dubai. Okay, a lot of people are asking me if Tate lung cancer is true. Yes, it's true. This is the tweet right here. I don't have any more specifics to share. But Tate, despite being detained in the Romanian jail, has remained active on social media and on Sunday tweeted, 'I don't have cancer. There is nothing but a scar on my lung from an old battle.' He went on to claim that he was an 8-liter lung, or has an 8-liter lung capacity, the vital signs of an Olympic athlete, and that he would live for the next 5,000 years. That sounds totally like something he would say. All right. My lungs contain 0 smoking damage. I do not have cancer. In fact, I have an 8-liter lung capacity and the vital signs of an Olympic athlete. There is nothing but a scar on my lung from an old battle. True words are scarred both inside and out." Andrew Tate also, as one of the most influential men on the face of the planet, he has no ego. "It is important for the good of humanity that I live as long as possible." Well, at least he's living true to what they're saying about him as far as his ego being the size of the world. "At my current strength levels, I estimate to survive for at least 5,000 years. This is why I always think he's trolling half the time and he's not being serious. With this in mind, I take my medical care extremely seriously." Tate accused of pursuing right-wing politicians. Tate and his brother Tristan have been detained in Romania, where the pair had been residing since December 2022. So it's March 5th today. I think they got arrested like right after Christmas. It was like the 27th, if I'm not mistaken. So September 2022, on suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and by the way, YouTube, all this is in Minecraft. So sorry. Misspoke there. All this is Minecraft. Everything I'm reading is Minecraft. It's a bad dream. Go back to sleep. Everything's going to be okay. I'm stroking your head. There you go. And rubbing your back and cupping your balls and rubbing your butt, I guess. Some people, whatever. All right. And forming an organized crime group according to local authorities. So this is basically them tacking on, oh, well, he's also an organized crime guy, whatever. No proof. Despite appealing for their freedom, a Romanian court upheld a February 21st decision to detain the Tates for a further 30 days on February 28th. The brothers have denied all charges. While in police custody, Andrew Tate has been directing associates to recruit 2 right-wing lawmakers to his cause, according to wiretaps of his phone calls submitted to a court by Romanian prosecutors. The internet celebrity instructed 2 associates to tell Romanian politicians George Simeon and Diana Lavanoici Socia, whatever, however the fuck you say her name, that he was being formed, I guess, well, no, Diana is supposed to be a female name, but sometimes they have female names that are males, whatever, according to America, that he was being framed and supported him would be very good for their careers, according to one of the exchanges. Yeah, I've heard that theory too, that supposedly he's been doing this to basically become famous. Well, look at Tristan smiling there. That's not helping your cause, Tristan. So make it clear to them, you will get a lot of votes when Tate says you took their side. Tate said in January 28, called to 2 of his associates, authorities said. Both politicians have denied being contacted by Tate or his associates. Mr. Simeon, a politician in Romania's lower house, told Reuters he had never been contacted by Tate or his associates and would publicly support Tate if he approached. Wouldn't publicly support Tate if he was approached. Asked if he thought Tate had been framed, he replied, the justice system will decide, not politicians. A spokesperson from Mrs. whatever you say her name is, we'll call her LS, a senator, said the wiretapped conversation were lies and designed to attack her. Despite not being formally charged, Tate and his brother remain in custody until at least March 29th. Okay, so again, we're sitting here on the cusp of this just being like a complete smear campaign in almost all aspects of the name. And in Romania, which just so happens to be the way that it is, they can hold him basically for as long as they want, up to 180 days. And I don't see them releasing him. And actually, this is not a very popular opinion, but I suspect they're going to find Tate and his brother guilty. And they're probably going to bring in other people too, just to find them guilty on all charges. I'm serious. They're going to find them guilty on all charges and trump up some bullshit to say that he is guilty and throw him in federal prison. And then he's going to accidentally, have some kind of life-threatening accident, or they'll say that he self-deleted himself. Okay? That's my theory as of right now. Tate's too dangerous to have out, and he's leading too many people to basically a positive lifestyle. Tate's influencing people that have no outlet. We're gonna show some video clips later, and you're gonna see exactly what I'm talking about. Whenever you have feminists saying that men just need to die, all men should die, and then you've got other women saying, well, I don't care if men are self-deleting themselves, I don't care if they're not working, I don't care if they're not going to college, that's up to them and it has nothing to do with me. Well, she's got a body count of 30 and she's an OnlyFans model. Okay, so a lot of these things that are happening, a lot of the issues that are going on right now have specifically to do with the fact that they do not want men to be masculine. They do not want men to embrace the part of them that make them what they are. And they want women to be masculine. They want women to take on the masculine roles. And they want men to be more feminine. And Tate is specifically against that in every way. So, I just don't see, I do not see Tate in any way, shape, or fashion being able to get out of this unless some miracle happens, which is anything possible. I think they're going to do everything they can to keep him in. I mean, think about it. He had 2 women come forward that he was accused of like supposedly raping and doing the boyfriend, whatever. They told the judge, both of them told the judge that they were not forced in any way, shape, or fashion. And they left on good terms. They got paid the entire time they were there for doing the work that he had them do. And the judge specifically said they were brainwashed and threw out their entire testimony. While we know for a fact now that one of the two accusers that have not rebuked the charges, we know she's falsely accused 5 men in the past. This is documented. And she's a former sex worker. I guess she could still be a sex worker. We also know that supposedly during this exact same time that she accused him of doing these things, she's the one that was on that little interview where they didn't show her face with the guy that Tristan didn't like that was on their show. We know also that like within a week after this supposed horribly tragic event happened to her, she was on a plane and on a yacht and doing things with rich men, showing off her jewelry, showing off watches, purses, and clothes and shit. So she obviously wasn't traumatically affected at that point. And she was already on another yacht and doing other things with the guys. Now, one thing that I am curious about that I haven't been able to read anywhere, or at least I haven't been able to find, is somewhere where Tate has actually said that he knows the woman. So I'm curious if he even knew that she was even there. Like maybe she was just like one of the girls in the background type situation. So, but anyways, moving on to the next story. I just kind of wanted to cover that real quick. I'm going to take a small bathroom break because we don't have any viewers here anyways. But let me go ahead and get this up. Let's see here. Share screen. Boop. Share. There we go. And we are going to... How do I do that? Okay, so yeah, I'm drinking like a gallon and a half of water before like 10 a.m. now. So I gotta go to the bathroom like every 20 minutes. It's really, really disturbing. All right. So anyways, TMI. So what we have here is kind of I don't know, this is interesting. So I figured I would show it. Remember, YouTube and Minecraft, this is just an opinion. I'm not stating this as a fact. I'm literally showing you a video from your own channel.
Gases. And as an engineer educated in atmospheric gases, and as a business manager, I was responsible for hundreds of people's lives based on my knowledge of atmospheric gases. I listen to scientists, I cross-examine scientists, and I debate the science.
All right, we'll go back.
Educated in atmospheric gases, and as a business manager, I was responsible for hundreds of people's lives based on my knowledge of atmospheric gases. I listen to scientists, I cross-examine scientists, and I debate the science. I have never found anyone with logical scientific points based on empirical scientific evidence that shows we have anything to worry about at all. And the basics of this, when you burn a hydrocarbon fuel, you burn molecules.
Remember, YouTube, I'm just playing one of your own videos. This is not my opinion, and I'm not stating it as fact.
Containing carbon and hydrogen. With oxygen, they form CO2, carbon dioxide, and H2O, water vapor. That's it. Carbon dioxide is essential for all life. But let's go beyond the science and have a look at natural experiment. We've had 2 natural experiments, global experiments, in the last 14 years. The first was in 2009, when the use of hydrocarbon fuels in the recession that followed the global financial crisis reduced. There was less carbon dioxide produced from human use of hydrocarbons. And what happened to the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere? It kept increasing. And what happened in 2020? when we had a major recession, almost a depression around the world as a result of COVID restrictions placed by governments. We saw the same reduction in hydrocarbon fuel use by humans, the same cut in carbon dioxide output from humans, and yet carbon dioxide in the atmosphere continued increasing. And those who understand the science understand that it is fundamental. Humans cannot and do not affect the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. It's controlled by nature entirely.
Wow, that's a pretty heavy statement. Damn. Now, again, I'm not a scientist. I'm not in any way, shape, or form educated in anything to have to do with climate change or, what did they used to call it? Global warming. I mean, they change these terms every like 10 years or whatever, just so that we don't, I guess, keep up with it. Just like there used to be like herd immunity and group immunity, and then they disappeared that shit during the, unknown virus, which now has been documented to actually possibly, but most definitely come from some place in a country that starts with the C and ends with an A. Yeah. But anyways, YouTube, calm down, YouTube. But my only point in that is that, you're always going to have different opinions, right? But that guy's reading from a statement from a scientist, and you'll always hear the empirical data. Well, actually, from what I've seen, and if anyone bothered to actually go and look into this shit up, if you actually read some of the statements from scientists that are actually scientists, they don't agree with that shit. All the AOC bullshit about cows farting and all the other crap. No. I mean, look, do we have, there we go. We got someone here. Finally, yay. All right. Hello to you too. It's okay. Hey, look, I'm just glad you're here. I think you're the first one here today. So, and we had a little bit of a rough start with the dogs, so you're good to go. I hope you're doing good. All right. Seriously, Wajon. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're still healthy and still here and everything. Okay. I miss you guys a lot. I'm so sorry. I didn't even get a chance to get on there. That's how busy I've been. Seriously. All right, Reb. I've been so busy. I haven't been able to even get on with YouTube, except for just to do maybe this one. I think I posted a couple clips. I have basically been getting up, eating, working out, eating again, going to work for the last like 7 days, just straight, boom, 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 boom. So it's been pretty crazy out here. So thank you for coming. You're always welcome. Hey, if you see Derek, please tell Derek I said hello, Rose and everybody too. Tell him I miss them a lot. All right. Please send the word. I'll go on there. I promise you, I will not forget. I will go on there today and I will donate today because I haven't donated, I think, this month. So then I know that they probably need it. Okay. So, all right, back to what we're doing. So all I'm saying is that you're going to have a lot of people, I hate to throw you under the bus, guys, but those people that are in like college, high school, and you're listening to your professors and you're listening to all the people that are just pumping this shit into you, okay? Like, you're not getting any alternate information. You're just hearing it from one source. Think of it like the religious people that grow up in cults. They only hear from one source. Well, what happens to those motherfuckers? They end up in Jonestown drinking fucking Kool-Aid, 200 plus people getting killed because they believe in some crazy motherfucker's ideology. Okay? I mean, if you honestly want to take a realistic look at the way things are supposed to be versus the way that things are, all right, things that are always supposed to be almost never have facts backing them up. But facts and the way things are do. What was the famous shit, that Fauci said? I am the science. Follow the science. It's like, dude, you ain't the science, bro. You're some little short fucker with little man syndrome. Okay? You wanna read the science and go look what the science actually says? Go get a book. Get 3. And don't believe anything anyone says until you read it for a fact and then find undeniable proof that what that person says is true. Just like I always say, don't believe a fucking word I say. All right? Challenge me on everything. Anything that I say. Dude, there's a very good possibility that I could be wrong or misled. Anyone can. We're fucking human. Okay? This whole climate change bullshit. It's just, it always seems to me like it's always about money. Oh my God, climate change over here. Come buy this. That's what it's always about. I swear to God, it's like climate change is bad. Here, buy this. This helps with climate change. It's like, am I the only one seeing this shit? But anyways, all right. Next story. This is remember that what do they call it? I know Build Back Better was his original thing, right? And then they created the, what was it called? The Inflation Reduction Act is what they called it. And it didn't reduce inflation at all. And still hasn't reduced inflation. Well, I think they're trying to call it something different now. So, Washington Post, this is from, what is this? This is Jonathan Turley. The thing itself speaks. What is this? What is this? This is, I guess this is his own website. Okay, so this is from Jonathan Turley, Congress, Constitutional Law, Media. There we go. Washington Post, yes, the Biden loan forgiveness may be unconstitutional, but, and I thought this is cool because remember, he was talking about making like school loans and certain other loans for certain groups of people. Can't say shit on YouTube because, you know, freedom of speech doesn't matter here. But the Washington Post is now admitting that President Joe Biden's college loan forgiveness plan is unconstitutional. But it insists that the court shouldn't stop him. The reason is standing and the Post is now apparently a standing hawk force to accept a $500 billion giveaway to maintain a narrow view. $500 billion giveaway. Jesus fucking Christ. To maintain a narrow view of case or controversies under Article 3. The Post provisionally ran opinion pieces saying that Biden clearly has this authority, but this is an opinion piece from the editors themselves on the subject. Basically, people that like Biden and want the woke left bullshit to happen. All right. The Post now admits that some of us, that Biden overreached. All right, we're going to leave this highlighted. In his use of the HEROES Act to allow him to unilaterally cancel roughly $500 billion in loan debts. Executive overreach is a common reference to exceeding the authority afforded by Article 2. The Post describes the action as bad, and without congressional approval, of course, giving away $500 billion without congressional approval was the type of unilateral action that the framers sought to prevent in giving Congress the power of the pursuit. I guess, yeah, power of the pursuit. In other words, it's just not bad. It's unconstitutional. So, layman's terms for people that don't understand it just like me, because half that shit I don't understand anyways. So when the founders created the Constitution, the whole purpose of the Constitution, this I do understand, was to give us, the people, the ability to keep the government from putting forces on us that led to socialism, communism, Marxism, whatever, and led things like, you know, what Europe was doing to its people, which is why we broke away from them. The reason why we have the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the Third Amendment, the Fourth Amendment is so that we, the people, can protect ourselves from the government. It's a lot harder to control a population when that population can say whatever the fuck they want, do whatever the fuck they want to do, as long as they don't break the laws of the government, and 3, are armed to the teeth. Okay? It's a lot harder to come and take us. Like, imagine what it would be like to take Alabama, Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Oklahoma. You're going to have rednecks and fucking ethnic groups from all types and all areas. We're going to be armed to the teeth, and you're going to have everything. You're going to have people that know how to do shit. The government is afraid of people that are armed, educated, that can read, write, do math and shit. They don't want us that way because if we're weaker and we're not armed, we're much easier to take over. Case in point, look at how much worse Australia was with the conditions of the lockdowns. They were literally taking people and just throwing them in these like makeshift houses, right? And they couldn't step over a fucking line. And if they stepped over that line, you were fined $5,000. They went up to a dude on a beach. He was like 20 yards in front of his house on the beach. And they were trying to arrest him for just laying on the beach. That happened in Australia. When a government does not have things to fear from their people, they will always try to take power. And that's exactly what they did whenever they had COVID. They came in, they dropped all these restrictions, pushed fear, scare this. Oh my God, be afraid of this. Oh my God, it's going to kill everyone. Protect grandma. I mean, that's what they did. I'm still seeing people wearing masks right now. It surprises me every time I see it, you know, because all the information came out so quickly. But there's still people wearing masks in Texas right now that I see on a daily basis. And it's, it's funny because I said this to myself when I saw it the other day. It's becoming so commonplace that I'm getting used to it. What's up, Carol? How are you? Good to see you again. I hope everything's going well with you. And the last time we spoke, I know that you guys are doing well. You haven't emailed me in a while, but hey, look, if you want to email, correspond, have a private conversation, I'm always more than welcome. God bless, and I hope you and your family are doing well. Carol's one of my original, for those people that are watching this later, because guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm almost at 350, and I've got a lot of new people watching. So for those of you that are new watching, Wei Joan, Carol, a bunch of my other followers. We got Super Spurg and Quentin and, Mexican Iron Man. A lot of my originals that were here watching me from the very beginning, they're like, they've kind of become like close friends now. So, Carol and Reb, I'm curious what's going to happen. Like if I get 5,000 followers or 10,000 followers, I never really expected to grow that much. I figured the most I would ever get would be 100 people. So, and I'm getting good reviews and people are messaging me and saying, I'm having a positive influence. So, thank you, of course, always. So next one, let's get this wrapped up. I want to get the news out of the way so we can get to the fun stuff. All right. So thoughts on where we're going as a country. I wanted to throw this in there. I'm not a big fan of Gateway Pundit. You guys know that I'm not, I find them to be kind of biased towards everything that comes from the left. And I hate that because I want people to be more objective, but every now and then they drop something like this that actually is good. So this is very heartwarming. I thought this was actually pretty cool. Maybe not 100%, but a lot of it. A letter from a military mom, a grandmother, and an American patriot who loves this country and sees where we are heading. Military mom, a grandmother, and an American patriot. One of our readers, a military mom and friend of TGP, sent us this message to share. We hope you have a moment to read this. Over the last 2 years, I have watched my country being taken over by the most incompetent, dangerous, and reckless morons ever. See, I don't like it when people insult. I want you to just kind of keep it, respectful and professional. Insults, at least in my opinion, should always come at the end whenever you've basically reached no other option and you have to nail someone down, basically. That's the way I feel about it anyways. Ever to take up space in our most sacred place in this country, our White House, our Senate, and our Congress. These inept traitors, that is true. A lot of the things that they're doing, believe it or not, could be treasonous, and we could call them traitors. Some of the stuff that they're doing. Of our glorious country and our most revered and beloved Constitution, yes, have made us the laughing stock of the world. Guys, this is incredibly true. Right now, and I talk to people all over the country every day, okay? And they actually ask me questions like, is it really true that you're doing this? Or did Biden really fall off his bike on a camera? Did Biden really fall up a staircase? Like, I get asked these questions from people outside the country. And then they ask me questions like, so seriously, you have people that, and we're going to watch something on this later, that think that if you don't want to have sex with a man that's a woman, that they're not a real man and they're gay because they don't want to have sex with a real woman. I get asked these questions usually once a week, sometimes every other day, because they're laughing at us, especially like the big powers like Russia and China. Imagine what the North Korean army is laughing at us about right now. Think about that. I have watched them destroy the lives of good, honest, decent Americans who went up to D.C. to express their love and concern for their country. And the Dems arranged an ambush on them. This is what happened, and that is what they did to our fellow Americans. Some of them are still in jail with no charges. What is worse, they threw these good and decent Americans in jail with no trial, no representation. They robbed them of their rights in every way possible. Because remember, I said that some of the things that they have done to us as a country could be considered treasonous and they could be called traitors. Folks, these people are pure evil and they are running our country into the ground. The one man who tried, in spite of all of them and his failures, obviously, to get this country going in the right direction has been vilified and persecuted by his corrupt bunch of immoral thugs in suits. I ask you to remember, our countries, or our economy, and our secure border under President Trump. Don't you remember how booming your 401ks were? She's right. The stock market has done nothing but this, basically. Now, people argue and say, well, it's climbing. Guys, it climbs on every president. Every president usually has an increase, even though it's so small in the stock market. Well, Biden did this, little bit, and then just boom, explosion, boom, death, destruction. That was Biden. Okay. Don't you remember how booming your 401ks were doing under his leadership? Don't you remember how good it felt when President Trump stood up to the terrorists, and what a moment in history it was when he crossed the DMZ and they all said it couldn't be done? He did it by himself with no security. Our country was at peace, and Trump understood, as well as our enemies, what it truly means to rule by simple premise of peace through strength. The world stood at attention when they knew to behave themselves, because President Donald J. Trump would drop a Moab on your ass, meant to keep our country and her people safe. And we would deal directly with you if we didn't get the message. He delivered to the most evil man, Soleimani, responsibly for the maiming and murder of so many of our sons and daughters, and Trump delivered to him what he deserved. That was the Iranian guy that the left were like, protect him for no reason, but now Iran has threatened again to murder our former president and Mike Pompeo. This is an outrage to every American who loves this country. Should be outraged that one of our presidents has been threatened on the world stage, yet all I hear is silence. Be still, my heart. I tell myself every day, but it will no longer listen. That fighting Irish spirit in me can no longer sit by idly silent while threats against him are published and then just dead silence. Folks, this is not okay. It can't be. I'm trying again one more time to rally my fellow Americans. Goons are beating up white people, little white children. They are shooting cops like it's a new sport in town. They are putting illegals up in $400 hotel rooms per night, courtesy of our pocketbooks, yet our homeless veterans are on the streets. And they're trading for, I don't know, America-hating, lesbian, cutting off her boobs basketball player for the merchant of death, leaving Marines in prisons because they had no other choice. The real crime, in Minecraft YouTube, go back to sleep. The real crime, the most awful actions, they are engaging in the sanctioned murder of babies, even right after they are born. Remember, Northam telling us they'll make the baby comfortable while they plan the poor little baby's murder. That's not exactly how I said it, but yeah. Wrap him in a warm blanket. When I saw that, my heart ached, and it still does. I believe when I die, God will ask me what I did to protect them, God's little children. This is ghoulish. The Planned Parenthood ghoulish doctors are describing how much more money they get for tissues of full-term little bodies. What has happened to our conscience and our morals? Of all, this is so long. McCarthy's office. Let's see. I mean, she goes on. This is, I'll drop the link if you guys want me to. Here, I'll put it right here. And you guys can read the whole letter. I don't want to spend a lot of time reading it because I kind of want you guys to read it yourselves. But I'll put the link in the StreamYard. Here, check this out. There we go. Tree Goblin, what's up, bro? Welcome, man. So if you guys want to check it out, that's the letter. I mean, she goes on. She rips into them all. Okay, and something else about the abortion clinics. Back in the 70s and 80s, they were getting paid about $250 to $350 to abortion. Okay, abortion, sorry. And it was like, some clinics would see 10 to 20 women a day. And there was, I don't remember how many there was, but there was quite a few clinics. So it was a money booming business, okay? A booming business. Well, now what they do is they sell the abortions, the leftovers, to the scientists for money, for profit. That's a part of it now. It's all money, so there's a lot more to it than that, but hey, what are you gonna do? There is oh shit, wrong one. Cancel. It was trying to get me to get off the streamer. Next one. Here we go. All right. I think I only did 5 stories today. Here we go. All sacrifices come to me. Moloch. Yeah. Moloch, you're not wrong, dude. I have a theory that like every soul that's reborted creates like a way line, and there's just millions of them circling the world, Like, I've always wanted to write a story on that. I actually have in my head. I just got to put it on paper. All right. So, okay, we had a really brave and in touch with his femininity side. I think he's like a senator or a judge or something. Say that he's going to fight toxic masculinity. Yeah, you go, boy. So, second gentleman, I don't know what the fuck that means, Doug Emhoff, vows to fight toxic masculinity, gets mocked. Good. I'm going to continue to use this platform every time I get to speak out against toxic masculinity that is out there. Well, I mean, he's got a tattoo. Doesn't look like a total pompous ass. He doesn't have like he's got kind of beady eyes. His eyes are kind of close together, but most guys don't get tattoos that are kind of bitchy, but you never know. All right, unless it's a tramp stamp. As American men continue to struggle, second gentleman Douglas Emhoff, what does second gentleman mean? Is that like a French thing or some shit? Wants to use his platform to denounce the so-called toxic masculinity. Emhoff, this past week, told MSNBC that there's too much toxicity in masculinity. So I got a question for you there, douchebag. What about female toxicity? Don't you think there's a little much of that going on the internet right now? All men are trash. Or how about hashtag kill all men? I don't see a hashtag kill all women. I don't see a hashtag all women are trash. That doesn't exist. But you got rid of fucking Boy Scouts, but you didn't get rid of Girl Scouts because that's not sexist. Only Boy Scouts are sexist, right? Anyways, so Emhoff this past week, you already read that one. There's too much of toxicity, masculine toxicity out there. And we've kind of confused what it means to be a man, what it means to be masculine. No, we haven't. We've confused men in believing that the way they are is wrong. If you have a penis, you are wrong. You've got this trope out there where you have to be tough and angry and lash out to be strong. Okay, angry and lash out to be strong, that's not what they're teaching young men. That's what you want people to think. Okay, the average dude's not walking out there, grabbing women off the street, graping them, and just beating everyone in fucking sight. Okay, chivalry is from men. We open doors. We pull out chairs. We help people across the fucking street. Okay? If we see someone struggling, we go up to them and we help them. That's not toxic masculinity. Okay? That's called being a man and taking responsibility for your fucking actions. Emhoff continued. I think it's just the opposite. Strength is how you show your love for people. Strength is how you are for people and how you have their back and how you stick up for other people, pushing up against bullies. Their definition of bullies are wrong, though, the way they say it. And that's what I believe it is. And he's talking about, look, is how you are for people and how you have their back. I don't disagree with that. How you stick up for other people, I don't disagree with that. But he's going to get into femininity. Every time I can speak against this toxicity, we are seeing it with our younger people. What younger people? What, the guys playing video games, eating Hot Pockets in their basement? What the hell, dude? Have you guys shooken the hands of young men lately? Go out there and touch their hands. They're soft, like a baby's ass, and they shake it like real feminine-like. It's disturbing. And the way they talk to you, they can't make eye contact with you, and they speak kind of like this, and oh my God, sir, thank you. Okay, like everybody is an anime character from some, what is it called, hentai? All right, we are seeing it with our younger people. We're seeing it in our discourse and politics in the media. You are seeing it as it relates to many of the issues we are pushing back on. So I think that it's a problem, and I'm going to continue to use this platform every time I get to speak out against toxic masculinity out there. Now, I will create an olive branch. Okay, if they were saying that the only male toxicity that they were talking about was when men are abusive, when men lash out and they get angry for no reason, I wouldn't have any, necessarily controversial issues on it. And I wouldn't probably fight them on it except for the lashing out part. Sometimes men just aren't taught how to respond because they don't have a male figure. That might be the only thing I might change. But Trish Reagan, host of the Trish Reagan Show, ripped Emhoff for contributing to this far-left initiative and redefining traditional masculinity in a recent podcast where Daily Wire host Michael Knowles made a guest appearance. I'd say you've confused it, Reagan Slam, reacting to Reagan does a lot of this stuff about trying to bring men back up. She's actually pretty cool. I think she's married with like 4 kids too. Reacting to the second gentleman speaking about masculinity. I'd say you've done a really good job at confusing it. It's not that hard. Okay, that's her right there. All right. It's not that hard. It's just that you seem really kind of hell bent on making sure that young kids don't understand the difference between a man and a woman. She continued, Apple has that pregnant man emoji, and everyone suddenly wants to go by that way. It looks like Bill Gates is pregnant, is what it looks like. A masculine man is someone who is a responsible person, responsible for your actions. Take responsibility for yourself. Reagan clarified for the second gentleman. A responsible person, a kind person who looks out for women and recognizes the vulnerability and the specialness, if you will, of women. There's nothing wrong with that. Chivalry, chivalry, chivalry. I opened up the door for a couple of ladies the other day. An older woman and her daughter. All right. Child sacrifices is totally not toxic. Yeah. Right. So I opened up the door for her. It was a grandmother, I believe, and her granddaughter, because the ages were pretty different. I don't want to assume, but it looks like that's what it was. And the grandmother turned to me and just said, "Thank you, young man. It's been a while since someone opened the door for me." And I thought about it afterwards. I didn't say anything. I just said, "You're welcome." But a lot of men are probably afraid to do things now. I showed you guys that video a week ago. The woman's like, "I think it's very healthy for men to be afraid of women." Really? That's what you want? You want men to be afraid to talk to women? Well, how the fuck are we going to procreate? Then there was that video that I saw. I didn't put on the list today, but this one woman seriously said that she does not need a man to have a kid. And they asked her, "Where do you think the sperm comes from?" She's like, "The sperm donation place." And they're like, "Where do you think that sperm comes?" "Well, I don't need them for that." It's like, well, what? There's no conscious thought. There's no rational thought when it comes to these arguments. And I would say probably 90% of these arguments. I mean, they're all emotion. They're all crap. What's up, Joseph? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. Welcome. And most of their arguments can be completely destroyed. Like I'm going to show you one of the last videos that we have today. We're going to get to the clips in a second. Is a young man dismantling critical race theory, destroying it. And you should see some of the faces of these motherfuckers. They're all like, I mean, just like they got nothing, because he's smarter, he's more educated, he's wiser, and he's more mature, and he lives by a moral compass. Okay. What's up, Eric? How you doing, brother? Yeah. The Marty chat. So, all right. So, welcome everybody, please. And hey, guys, don't forget. Look, I don't say this very often, and I keep forgetting it because I guess I don't think about it. But remember to like and share the video. Send it out to people that you think that might need it. If you see something that I do that's cool, like and share it. Send it to somebody. I don't really care about getting YouTube famous, but what I do care about is helping people. So if there's someone that like for instance, by the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but that one video is blowing up. The one that I did like when I first started, the one about don't focus on the negative emotions. It's actually gone from like 110 views to like I think it's almost at 400 now. We're getting there, and it's I think it's because people are sharing it, and it's probably my most important video that I ever made. It's only like 3.5 minutes long, and I've gotten a couple messages from people just telling me thank you for just making that video. So if anything that I say can help someone, that might need it or need to hear it or need to hear some kind of motivation, or if there's someone out there that you want me to get in contact with that needs someone to be helped, just let me know. I have no problem doing that. What do we got? Remember to send sacrifice. Moloch. I'm sharing you on Twatters. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I my trainer, excuse me, he's not a trainer, he's a coach. I'm starting a new routine, Eric and everybody. So things are gonna be a little weird. I'm like doing a whole different thing now because I was getting myself ready training. So now I have a professional coach now who's doing stuff. So, but I was telling him about this, and I was telling him I don't have any other social media platforms. He was like, go to my TikTok, and I was like, Coach, you know about TikTok? And he just gave me this look, and I was like, you didn't know that, did you? About the China shit and about the soft core sister brother porn and everything that's on there. I can't say the P word. Corn that's on there, and the satanic gay, corn. Yeah. So anyways, and he just looked at me. I was like, dude, look up unicorn Satanism. And he was like, I don't want to. I'm like, yeah, you're right. You don't want to. All right. So I believe this is the last news story. Then we'll get to the fun shit. Okay. This is more, because I try to educate you guys as much as I can. I try to keep it as light as I can and try to be as honest and blunt with you as I can. So the left now wants to cancel Fox totally because of what is supposedly being spread as misinformation or bullshit, according to the left. Dems want to cut Fox after lawsuit revelations. The icing of Fox News, the ratings-leading network, would include starving the company of advertising dollars and pulling the biggest Democratic stars from the airwaves. The thunderclap of stories showing Fox News' role in pushing 2020 elections, fraud conspiracies, and aiding Donald Trump's campaign has intensified calls among Democrats to block out the network. Now, remember, when Donald Trump was running, when they were scared he was going to win, and when he became president, 90% of every single news channel, radio, whatever, was orange man bad, bad man orange. Okay? And if you guys remember, when Biden got elected, there were several people that came on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, and all those other bullshit shows saying, Donald Trump was favored by the media. Biden's not really favored by the media. Oh, I remember sitting here just to see what would happen. And I put on like 3 screens at the same time. 3, it was like CNN, MSNBC, and ABC. I don't know if it was CBS, but I'm pretty sure it was those 3. And every single fucking hour was like, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, hate Donald Trump bad, be afraid, Donald Trump's coming after your kids, he's a monster, raw, or let's blame all of this on him. And then when they flipped the border thing, whenever it was an Obama policy, it's all, dude, it was constant. Like every hour, they just kept throwing it in their face. So it's no wonder that most of the people that consider themselves to be Democrats hate Donald Trump, because they were told for 4 years, not just to hate him, but to be afraid of him constantly. Now, again, as I've said dozens of times, Donald Trump fucked up a lot. He did a lot of fucked up shit, but he also did a lot of really cool shit. Like, I don't know, $1.69 for a gallon of gas. The stock market was doing amazing. We actually had other countries that weren't trying to fuck us in the ass over a fucking bar stool with a non-lubricated condom. It was an awesome time. Okay? So now we're seeing the opposite of that shit. Now we're seeing no one respects us. They're laughing at us. They're treating us as if we're just this running. We are the cowboys of the world. Seriously. It sucks. Or I guess you could even say would be better, we're the Detroit Lions of the world. That's what we are right now. We're just a laughing joke. 0-16. The thunderclap, the revelations made public as part of a $1.6 billion lawsuit brought against Fox by Dominion voting system showed that some network hosts and executives endorsed lies about Trump's loss, hosting conspiracy theorists whom they brought were unhinged, and overtly prioritized the company's profit over truth. A related deposition of the media's empire chair, Rupert Murdoch, revealed that he shared private intel about Joe Biden's campaign, TV ads, and provided debate strategy with Trump's advisors. Not that it got him elected or whatever, but this is total bullshit. They're basically saying their God-given country right of freedom of speech, they can be sued over it. Look, I hate to break it to you, leftists, but Fox can have on whoever the fuck they want to have on. You have people come on every day and spout bullshit and lies, and no one ever sues you on whatever it is you're talking about. Very rarely has anyone ever brought you guys to court over anything. I think the only one that did was that kid, right? The one that had the drums banged in his face. Didn't he win like $2 million, some shit, because you guys lied on live air? You lied. You said that he incited a riot or some shit. He was the victim in the situation, and you got fucking sued for it because you lied. That's what it's like for slander and libel. Okay? Not this. They can have whatever fucking host they want on there because most of them are opinion pieces. And when they state facts, they're going to do what you don't do, which is do nothing but opinion pieces, and they're going to cite their information. Just because you don't like what they fucking say and they defer from your opinion does not mean they're wrong. And it doesn't mean they're bad. Okay? Hate to break it to you, Dems, but you're on the wrong side of history this time. You're going to find that out probably when it's too late. For years, Democrats have been engaging in debate over whether the party should shun the cable news giant or grudgingly use it as airways to run counter-programming. But in the midst of the latest saga, a newer type of reaction has emerged, that they should sever all ties, including any money spent advertising on the network. There is nothing in those documents to show they operate like a real news organization. And it's so fucked up that they've got the balls to say that. You got a dude that's working for you guys that jacked off on camera. You got another guy that gave a dude in a bar a dirty Sanchez, and he's not in jail. Who's the fake fucking news source? Now, they're going to come at you and say that Tucker Carlson was accused of doing some type of sexual harassment. Yeah, falsely accused. She was found to be lying. Good try, though. Okay? It almost ruined his entire life. You can go check it out. So type in Tucker Carlson falsely accused of sexual harassment or some shit like that. But in the midst of the latest saga, there is nothing in those documents. I was sitting here, said Doug Gordon, a Democratic strategist. If you are running a campaign in 2024, how do you in good faith hand your ads to Fox when you know they handed them over to the Republicans? How do you know? Was there a camera? Was there documentation? Do you have witnesses? Probably not. If there are any general election debates, how do you let Fox be a moderator? Because Fox is a moderator in the debates. Okay. All right. Look. All I'm saying is this. Oh, we got some comments to catch up on. Sorry, guys. All right. Unicorn Satanism. Cool. Yeah. Yes, it is, dude. Yes, it is. You ain't fucking. And it's owned by China, created by China, run by China for Chinese. And it's not allowed in China. Who'd have thought? You telling me that you can't have you can't have TikTok in China? They don't let them use it in China. They ban it. Was it Donald Trump trying to ban that? He was, right? He was also trying to get of mail-in ballots too. Yes, unicorn Satanism. Actually, he bangs his brother like once a month, like gay sex on TikTok. They show like the front of his brother and shit. It's disturbing. Okay. Obey the Democrat Lizard Party. Don't listen to Vincent. Obey. And send sacrifices. I mean, if you want to look at it from a certain perspective, every time in history when the government has decided or made a decision to openly challenge the public, it's never ended well. And I would probably say that if you go back and look at history, we're actually doing pretty well considering what they've already done. But I also believe that the people here, because they're so used to being spoiled Americans, that they don't think that it's actually happening. If you walk up to the random person on the street and ask them, hey, do you think we're going to have a civil war? They're going to say no. I would probably guess, 90% of the country doesn't think we're going to have a civil war. But we are the close to having it since the actual real Civil War. We have people wanting to leave, in Texas that want Texas to break away. Floridians want to break away. People in southern states don't want to be a part of the, this other crap. People want traditionalism. Look at what's going on with the divorce rate. Look at what's going on with the death rate versus the birth rate. It's insane. Look at the self-deletion rate. More suicide or more self-deletion attempts from women have gone up 37%. And then more deletions, not attempts, deletions have gone up by almost 18% for men since 2020. That's horrible. And that's tragic. And we shouldn't have that. But most people aren't even going to talk about it because they don't want to talk about it. They want to think about it. They want to go get their lattes and they want to have their McDonald's and they want to have their fucking their tostadas and shit. And it's like, look, your video games and your porn aren't going to save you when the bombs start dropping. And it's really hard to have these conversations with people. And I try to have them and I try to be as gentle about it as possible, but most of the time, most of the time people don't even want to have the conversations. Like sometimes when I'm on live with, and look, this is nothing against my friends here, okay? Because I know how you guys feel. I know you guys are here to get this. I got that. But like sometimes when I'm on with some of the other people that are in our circle, people that are here right now, they don't want to talk about this either because they know that YouTube's probably gonna flag it, you know. And it's true because eventually I won't be on here anymore. I'll have to go to Rumble because they just won't let me be here. But people are afraid of this, guys. Ladies and gents, they're afraid to talk about this shit. They don't want to talk about this because they're afraid someone's going to label them or cancel them off of their social media platform. I try to tell all of my students, all the people that I teach, don't give a fuck about your social media. Delete it. Get rid of Twitter. Get rid of Instagram. Get rid of Snapchat. Get rid of all of it. Okay? I mean, if I didn't have to have this and I didn't have to go to Rumble to do this, you know, I wouldn't even have this. I wouldn't even be doing this right now if I didn't think this was necessary. And you know, I don't have any other social media except for this. So it's hard for me to even think about it. Whenever I talk to a person, they've got every single platform on their phone. I look at people's phones sometimes when they're talking on me, they're showing me pictures or whatever, and they've got like up here at the top, it's just like, you know, all the way across the top from all the messages and everything they got. Dude, that would kill me. Let's see here. Send me more. The bunker I make from Happy Meal boxes will be enough to save me from the kapoo. Oh my God. The word is nuts. Yeah. The world is nuts, bro. It's crazy right now. All right. Fun stuff. Enough with the serious shit. Let's have some laughs. All right. So, you know how I do this? We're going to watch some clips. I'm going to talk to you guys about it. Tell me what you think. If you want to put in notes, I'll respond. Let's just have fun. We'll carry on about our day. I got to go buy a bunch of vitamins and stuff today. So this is going to be a fun day for me. Okay. So this is, these clips are going viral. So if you haven't checked out #whatever, here's the general consensus. The girls don't know it, but he's bringing on these 18 to 25-year-old young hotties that are all OnlyFans models or strippers or porn stars or whatever. Corn stars in Minecraft, YouTube, in Minecraft. All right. And they're really stupid. Okay. And they're really ignorant, incredibly moronic, and immoral as fuck. Just bear with me.
Are far more likely in war. Men are more likely to have post-traumatic stress disorder. It's 80% of the homeless are men. 80% of are men. Men are more likely to be alcoholics. Men are more likely to be incarcerated. Men are more likely to receive the penalty. Men are more likely to be prosecuted than women for the same crime. Men are more likely to be the victim of a violent crime.
If you're wondering why he's just going through this list like super fast, reading off his computer, one of the chicks there was like, oh, men have no problems whatsoever. Women are the only ones that suffer in this world.
Men are more likely to be. Men are more likely to be the victim of police misconduct. Men are more likely to be wrongfully convicted of a crime. Men are more likely to be wrongfully. Men are more likely to work a dangerous job. Men are more likely to at work. Men are less likely to go to college. Men are less likely to receive scholarships. Men are more likely to drop out of high school. Men are more likely to be divorced by their partner. Men are more likely to pay child support. Men are more likely to pay alimony. Men have fewer social safety nets. Men earlier than women. Men have no reproductive rights. Men have no abuse or domestic shelters. Men are less likely to get custody of their children. Boys are less likely to be adopted. Men are far.
So I looked up that if there's no male shelters for abuse, I actually did find one. And it's the only one I could find. I found one in the entire United States of America. There's only one place for men to go if they're physically abused. Only one. So it's kind of crazy. And he, what he does is he, oh, dude, we got a lot. Shit, let me catch up. Sorry, guy. What was that? Okay. All right. Just Carol's going to stock up on Cheese Whiz for the days, you know, I used to eat Cheese Whiz and they changed it. It's now a powder that they turn into the Whiz. It's not real cheese anymore. I won't do it. I won't touch it. Cause I love squeezy cheese. I love that shit. Hey, Carol, Tree Goblin. Yes. Hello. Just Carol. Everybody saying hello to each other. Hello, Eric. And by the way, guys, welcome. Of course, always. How else will I be able to feed my people a proper Philly cheesesteak, Eric? You know what? Here's funny, Carol. We don't eat squeezy cheese on a Philly cheesesteak. We put either white cheddar or provolone. something we do down here. Everything else is the same. Either mushrooms and onions and peppers, or mushrooms and peppers, or mushrooms and onions, or just onions with the steak. All right. Hey, what's up, Skinny? Dude, what's going on? Let's see here. How about this, guys? How about this? We're in the fun part now. Let's drop the link in here. If anybody wants to come on, I will drop it in here. You guys are always more than welcome. All right. Here we go. Hey, Tree. Yep. Hey, Carol and Tree. That's why I mentioned it, just Carol, because I got your plans figured out. That's funny. LOL. Men are myths. I know, right? Men are likely to lose the TV remote. Dude, we lose everything. Like, seriously. We lose our wallets. We lose our keys. I'll, like, be walking around with, looking for my Bliss X container. Oh, I know I had that motherfucker somewhere. Dude, I lose everything, dude. So, all right. Let's get on to the next one. Here we go. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Dude, they didn't like this shit. Okay, so this is a show, Modern Life Dating, okay? And it's getting pretty popular. They've had some pretty big names on it. I think they even had Tate before he got arrested, actually. If I'm not, I could be mistaken. That could be wrong. But I know they've had Fresh and Fit on there. Okay, so check this out.
One side, look, that's why American relationships are failures. That's why American women on a global context.
Some context. That dude lives in Japan. He's a multi-millionaire. I don't know what he does for work, but I know it has to do with real estate and stock markets and everything. But he lives in Japan. He is a avid. He condones traditional relationships. He believes marriage should be brought back. He believes more fathers should be in the household. He's married to a Japanese woman. Blah blah blah.
Are the worst for relationships, long-term period. That's why the divorce rate is the highest in the world here, and that's why, on the desirability level, American women are at the bottom of the global barrel. This is all
present company excluded,
statistically documented from men, because at the end of the day, the ones who decide if a woman is valuable for a relationship is men.
Well, the man is the person that's going to have to, obviously,
let her face
propose and buy the ring and all that stuff.
Give him the ring.
Real quick. I just want to have everybody answer this. And
It's one.
And she kind of she was upset, but the other one was like, "Wow, I never thought about it that way." And that's what I like about watching most of these shows is they don't just like bring on like the man-hating lesbian, multicolored haired, short, fat, ugly lesbian feminists. Okay, they bring on those, and they bring on the OnlyFans, and then they'll bring on traditional women, and they let the women have like a back and forth, and the men chime in. So it's not like one-sided. You actually get a difference, and that's what I enjoy most, is when I can have multiple people talking about the same concept, and they all have different opinions of it. I hate it when it's only like one opinion. Let's see here. Right. Damn typo. All right. I would come up on the panel, but you just disgraced the holy Philly cheesesteak with that crap you put on it. That's good stuff. All right. Modern Life Dating is friends with legal minds. Hey, dude. I'm still Dread. I'm still getting used to everything. Okay. So I know that some of them tie into other ones, and like Pearly Things ties into certain things. And then you've got like Steve-O. Is that his name? He's the former model that does the live ones. He ties into Tate, and he ties into Fresh and Fit, and Fresh and Fit tying to Tate. And then there's another one. I'm kind of figuring all of it out. You know what I mean? All right. Tampa Pro Finals just starting live on YouTube. Tampa Pro? What is Tampa Pro? Is that a race thing? I don't know what that is. All right. Next one. Trump made a prediction while he was running. And some of you might remember this, some of you might not. But when I saw it, I was like, that's right. He did say that.
Imagine Biden saying, we'll take questions. The first question he'll be stumped on.
This is hilarious.
And then they'll come and they'll take him out of the room, and that'll be the end of that.
I'm not supposed to take any questions, but go ahead.
Mr. President, on Afghanistan.
I'm not going to answer Afghanistan now.
Can you get the still in
Okay.
a risk like airport?
Can you imagine Biden?
That's fucked up, dude. And he's done that multiple times, okay? Not just that time. Sauteed mushrooms and onions, either provolone or cheddar cheese. I don't put cheddar, I put white cheddar. On the cheesesteak is the good stuff. Vincent knows what he's talking about. Now, I have tried it with the stringy cheese, right? The Cheese Whiz, whatever, and I just didn't like it as much. I like the taste of real cheese. Remember, I'm a cook, so my tastes are probably a little bit different than most people's, but I like them both. I just like the one with real cheese better. I will end you, Eric. Skateboard competition. Ooh, dude, I haven't watched skateboarding in so long. My God, man. I was one of those kids that tried to be a skateboarder but failed miserably. I broke so many boards and kept falling on my elbows. I've still got scars on my elbows from busting them up on skateboards. I don't like the new Cheese Whiz. The new Cheese Whiz does not taste right. And when I eat it, it leaves a powder residue in my mouth. I can't do it. Old Cheese Whiz, like remember how when you would get the Christmas sausage packages with the crackers and the mustard, they had that really good soft squeezy cheese. That's the shit that I love. Okay. And that's what Cheese Whiz used to be too, but it's not that anymore. Now it's a broken down powdered cornstarch, modified food starch bullshit. And it tastes like crap. You're not using the right cheese. The Cheese Whiz on a Philly cheesesteak isn't the canned spray cheese. No, I've tried them all, even the one in the jar. It doesn't taste the same to me anymore. I live near cheddar. The cheese here is aged in caves. Ooh, I love cheese. Oh my God. I don't even know Cheese Whiz had changed. It's been forever since I've eaten this stuff. Yeah, it'd been a couple years since I'd had it. And then I went and got my favorite one's the bacon one. And I was like, what the yeah. So then you were oh my God. Hey, when you grow up eating things a certain way though, I'm just saying, like everybody's mom's spaghetti is the best spaghetti, right? It's kind of the same concept. All right. So let's see here. We got some more. Let's do this one. Oh, dude, Chris Rock nailed it. I never saw the stand-up routine of him. I used to watch him all the time. I never saw this routine. Listen to him, dude. He goes off.
Only women, children, and dogs are loved unconditionally. A man is only loved under the condition that he provides us. Okay? When you meet a new girl, what do your friends ask you? What she look like? Ladies, when you meet a new guy, what do your friends
laughing,
ask
but sad.
you? What does he do? What the does that do that can help you out? Can this mother facilitate a dream or not? Only
Can he buy you a Mercedes or you roll around in a Pinto? Your debate, a Philly girl over Philly cheesesteak. You will never win. I've never been to Philly to get one. What's up, Tolfer? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, man. I've never been to Philly, but I've always wanted to go, and I definitely will try one when I go there. Because, they say that unless it puts grease in the bottom of the bag, it's not a good Philly cheesesteak, Yeah, I can't eat cheese anymore either. I can't eat cheese for a month. I can't have any dairy or cheese for a month, so I feel your pain. It's like cheddar, Wisconsin, right? Or is it cheddar, Washington? I forget it. The cave moisture level is perfect for bringing the flavor out. Dude, I bet you that cheese is fucking amazing, man. Oh, my God. Road trip. No shit, right? Drunk 3PO showed a vid of a girl that said she would only date a man that made... Dude, I've showed videos, Dred, on here. When you ask, like, these supposedly, high-value women, which they're not high value. But when you ask them why they deserve a high-value man or what they consider to be a high-value man, they say he's got to make it's always between $250,000 to $1 million a year. He's got to be 6'1" or above. He's got to have chiseled abs. He's got to be attractive. He can't be married. And he can't have kids. And they have this thing called the delusional calculator on Fresh and Fit. And almost every single time they design their man, okay, their man only represents like 0.03% of the population or 0.001 or some shit like that. Like they really do believe the average man makes like 6 figures a year. It's ridiculous. When in actuality, the average man is between 5'8", 5'9". He's making only $37,000 to $51,000 a year. That's it. Okay, that's it. And $51,000 is like when you're retiring. Remember that. That's the average guy. Most dudes never make more than $55,000 a year in their life. And they're out there saying that the average guy's making like $200,000, $250,000 a year. And that's the only way that I could be happy. Gotta buy me that shit. I watched this video. This woman, I think I showed it last or 2 weeks ago. This guy bought her, put the key in her hand. 2019 Mercedes. And she was like, "It's a 19. I don't want no old car." And he's like sitting there trying to convince her that it's a good car. I'd just been like, "All right, take those keys. You can go fuck yourself. Have a nice day. There's the door. Don't let it hit you." You know? What the fuck, man? Cheddar is beautiful. It's like Grand Canyon. Where's it? Is it Cheddar, Washington, or is it Cheddar, Wisconsin? 2 cheddar? Yeah, dude. 2 cheddar or not 2 cheddar? That is the question. All right. So, oh yeah. Okay. If you guys haven't heard, Woody Harrelson, okay, he got canceled last week because, well, he told a story that Minecraft YouTube in Minecraft, okay, he told a story that's based off of his brain, but it's supposed to be based off of fact, but not really based off of fact because it's just a theory. Anyways, here we go. I'll catch up on your comments, guys, right after this one. All right.
So the movie goes like this. The biggest drug cartels in the world get together and buy up all the media and all the politicians and force all the people in the world to stay locked in their homes. And people can only come out if they take the cartel's drugs and keep taking them over and over. I threw the script away. I mean, who is going to believe that crazy idea?
That's crazy.
Okay, one, that's hilarious. Well done, Saturday Night Live. But 2, where have you been?
Like, you know, I've asked that too, because some of these guys that are coming out of the woodwork now that are supposedly on the right side of history, it's like, where the fuck were you, dude? You guys are the ones that were spread this shit to begin with. The singers, the rappers, the fucking movie stars, the comic book industry, the movie industry. You guys are the ones telling them fucking most lies, spreading all this fucking woke PC bullshit. Now you're coming out when we're at the worst part? I guess better late than never, but, you know. All right. Well, Jonesy, hell, yep, she's here. She's listening, man. She's doing chores right now. Let's see here. Jeez. Who is teaching these delusional women? Man, TV, radio, everything I just said, you know? And remember, most of them are OnlyFans models that they're putting on these shows, or former corn stars, or, you know, wannabe Instagram models, okay? Just, dude, remember, Lizzo is supposedly a 10 because all women are 10s. But the moment a man has any type of, like, stipulation or has standards, he's a pervert. Or he's controlling. If I don't want you to walk around in a G-string with a see-through skirt to a club with your friends where you always get drunk and get hit on, I'm insecure and I'm too controlling. Remember that. Okay, anytime a man has standards, it's controlling. Anytime a woman has standards, we just accept it. That's just the way it is in our society. You know, it's how we've all been programmed. So it doesn't surprise me, even in the slightest bit, that we have women that think this way. Because think about it. We have dudes that think the same way and opposite. It's just an incredibly smaller percentage. Okay. We have dudes that walk around saying women should be slaves and the only good woman is a woman on her knees. The only good woman is a woman that's in the kitchen, right? Those men do exist, but it's incredibly small because those men are ostracized because the way they're thinking is wrong. Okay. But no one has the balls, except for men that are on platforms like myself, or people that, you know, basically have been doing this for years and years and years, psychologists and shit, that are basically telling them, oh, Skinny's here, that are basically, what's up, Skinny? So that are basically telling them that this is okay. because we can't call a woman fat because it's fat shaming. But how many times have you seen a woman call a man fat and no one says it? She's fat shaming him. It's the same concept. What's up, brother? How you doing today, man?
Oh, I'm doing good, man. Just getting ready to start my day and go outside and start fat shaming people.
I mean, we got to, bro. It takes a village, right?
It really does.
I knew a guy we called Cheddar Bob. Oh, dude, we got to catch up on these chats, man. Shit.
I had a fat kid that I went to school with that we called Rain because, like, when he would like sweat, it was like he got hit by like a tsunami, man. Like
what, dude? One of the reasons why I upped my routine and I've really started even dieting more and exercising more is because when I was in the Philippines, dude, not only was everyone there skinnier than I was, okay, but I'm surrounded by these people. We're in like 89 degrees, right? And I'm the only motherfucker sweating because I'm a fat ass. Seriously.
That sounds like my people.
Dude, I'm just sitting there like sweating, dude, like protrude, just oh my god, I was Rain at that point. All right.
It just amazes me how much we have vilified physical health.
Yeah, did you see the latest one where it said that the black lady was saying, I played the video. She said that it has nothing to do with your diet or exercise and only to do with your genealogy, and there's nothing you can do about it. No, don't do anything about being fat or overweight. Well,
don't run your fat ass around the block because nothing's gonna happen.
Cheddar also has crazy caves with 10,000-year-old skeletons. No shit, they just leave the skeletons in there.
Yeah.
All right. Why are they in the cave? Yeah, that's what I just asked Carol. Same thing, dude. So
because Brits are fat and lazy now.
Well, just like Americans, right?
Are we talking about like cheddar in Britain or whatever?
Oh yeah, cheddar England. Yeah.
Okay.
Never a proper Philly steak. Don't have a strong opinion here. You know what? I've never had a true Philly steak, but I've made my own with the right bread that I ordered specifically from Philadelphia. I've just never had it with cheese whiz that tasted better than a piece of provolone or white cheddar. That's just my own personal preference. And when I make a Philly cheesesteak, it's got red peppers, green peppers, onions, and mushrooms that I sauteed all together with the flank steak. All right. Here's something to think about. The annoying TikTok videos of girls and young men lip syncing and doing synchronized dances moves are being done not for men, but for other women. This is true. Women compete with women. Okay, women aren't.
They always have.
They always have. Now, makeup can be argumentative because women do put on makeup to attract men, but they also put on makeup so they're more beautiful than other women. So it's kind of like a catch-22 on that one. But obviously, I am willing to fight to the death over this. Talking about the Philly cheesesteak. Either died in there or put there, but their DNA matches up with people still in the area. Dude, that's kind of creepy. Pretty wild. That is pretty wild, dude. But those caves sound awful. A lot like Rex's basement. Oh, nice little stab on Rex there. Good go. All right. He's old and cranky. He can deal with it. That is a wild indeed. Tree Goblin crazy. Nothing changes around here. Sure. They removed the skeleton. He's called. What the fuck? Okay. No, but like, okay. Something I showed people of like our fat people riding around. What are those little carts called?
The hover rounds. I call them that.
Yeah, but they have a name though, right? A specific name.
Scooters.
Yeah, well, they're I forget. It's a
mobility scooters.
Yeah, but anyways, they are mobility scooters, but they have a name. The company that makes them has a name. I forget what the name is, but I showed them pictures of them, and I was like, I was holding up my phone. I'm like, I don't see these people anywhere, and they were like, what is that? What's wrong with them? Are they unhealthy? Are they sick? Are they dying? And I was like, well, they're just fat. And they all kind of, and remember, I was staying with a family, right? So like they all kind of looked at each other. There's like 12 of them in a room and look at each other and like, why are they fat? And then I asked the father, I'm like, what would you do if your kid was getting too big? He didn't miss a beat, man. He goes, if my son or daughter were getting too big like that, I would lock them in a room and I would just feed them vegetables all day.
Just throw carrots at them.
Yeah, I mean, like, dude, like, and because over there, being fat's like, dude, if you're a fat person, and like the jungle or the Philippines and the poor districts, man, you are like, let's put it this way, you're not treated very well.
Well, we're civilized enough to be fat. Like, I know that sounds bad for the people in the Philippines. I don't mean for it to, but like our culture and society has gotten to the point where we're that comfortable enough to where we don't need to run around the jungles and fight off tigers and yetis and whatever else, like
Yeah. We don't
we've
work in the
just
fields
evolved
anymore.
to the point where we're lazy.
Yeah. Yes. Cheese Whiz is supposed to be what's supposed to go on it. You're not wrong, Skinny. You're not wrong at all. I mean, let's think about it from a logic standpoint. Let's just use my childhood as an example, because I don't even represent the hardest one, right? So when I would get up during the summer, I would go outside. I would eat breakfast, big breakfast, oatmeal or eggs or something. I'd go outside. Our parents would not allow us back inside the house except for lunch. Okay. And then we would take like a 30-minute nap, and then they would make us go back outside. We couldn't go back inside until dinner. And sometimes during the summer, that's 9 o'clock. And think about it. We're in the creeks. We're playing. We're running around. There was no video games. Dude, the only people that had Nintendo, because Nintendo came out when I was in the 3rd grade, I think. The only people that had Nintendo were rich families. That was a $500 system.
Well, even when I grew up and I had like the Super Nintendo and the original Nintendo, I was still playing outside. Like gaming was different back then too. Like kids typically we would only play video games like if it was raining outside or something. Like
or board games. We didn't have video games. We had board games. And now even to this day, I don't play I've got Hogwarts Legacy. Great game. I don't play that thing unless it's a reward for myself, because games are just like any drug. You'll get addicted to them super fast. And dude, there's nothing positive about playing a game, except for the fun part. So it should be a reward, not something you do like every fucking day. Okay. So yes, but you also need the long roll to come from Amoroso Baking Co. Fried onions, and that's it. No peppers, no mushrooms, just meat, cheese, and the bread. You don't put any peppers or mushrooms in it? What? I know about the Amoroso Baking Co. I've had that before.
Sounds like heresy, man.
Yeah, I like peppers and onions in mine with mushrooms. Seriously.
I mean, I think if we keep talking like this, like Jesus is going to come in the stream and like throw us out like the gamblers and whores in the temple.
Gaming was more casual. Yes, it was definitely more casual. You're right. You're not wrong. I mean, like Philly cheesesteak it's okay. Like for instance, like grits. Okay, you're a Southern boy like me. Grits are very different. Okay. And depending on whether or not, or what part of the country you grow in down south, you eat your grits different. Like,
oh, I got another one to point out. I found out up here in Washington, these people are fucking crazy, bro. They put brown gravy on chicken fried steak. That is the most disgusting thing I have ever tasted in my entire life.
I thought brown gravy, isn't brown gravy supposed to be for like rice, potatoes?
Yes, but they put it on chicken fried steak for whatever reason.
Shit on shingles, right? Yeah, white gravy's for chicken fried steak. Now, I'm not a fan of white gravy, unless it's sawmill gravy that has the bacon grease in it.
Yeah.
So that's the only white gravy I like. But I don't put anything on my chicken fried steak. I usually dip it in A1 sauce. But like I used to used to back in the day, but I don't eat chicken fried steak anymore.
Never put brown gravy on it though.
But no, you're right. Brown gravy is not for chicken fried steak. But what are they doing eating chicken fried steak? That's a Southern thing.
I don't know. I saw it and I was like, hey, and I got it, and it came with brown gravy, and I'm like, well, this is different. Like,
oh shit, dude.
And I was like, oh, well, maybe this will be good, and it wasn't. And I was like, you guys all deserve to burn in the fieriest pits of hell for this.
Okay. I agree with you. I don't think brown gravy goes on chicken fried steak, but sweet pickles on a fucking hamburger.
I hate sweet pickles.
I hate sweet pickles, number one. But if you're gonna put sweet pickles on a hamburger, you have no right to eat a hamburger. Your hamburger privileges are gone. Like
we need to just outlaw sweet relish too.
Sweet relish and sweet pickles are of the devil. Okay, period. Okay.
Give
White
me some
gravy
dill relish,
for chicken
man.
fried steak. Brown gravy is heresy. Yeah, I like, if I eat brown gravy, it's a mushroom brown gravy that I use from a meat stock. So I'll save meat stock specifically to make brown gravy, and I put mushrooms in it. So when I'm cooking it, it softens the mushrooms. I put that over my potatoes. I put that over stuffing. I put that over rice. Basically a carb is what I use it for. Or I do like dipping my bread in it too. Like if I have a good like roll of bread or something, I'll dip my bread in it.
I like brown gravy. I don't want people to think that I don't, because I love it like on mashed potatoes and poutine and stuff like that. Like where it's supposed to
Dude, poutine is great. Right? Welcome, Carol. Welcome.
Hello. What is wrong with you people?
Hey, look,
Everything.
we're Southerners. There's lots of shit wrong with us, but I'm not wrong about my Philly cheesesteak.
No, you are wrong about what you were calling it. You cannot call it a Philly cheesesteak if you were putting all this other crap on it.
Okay, why don't we call it
Otherwise,
the
it's just
Texas
a
Philly?
cheesesteak
How about
sandwich.
that? How about the Texas Philly? Can we do that?
Stop putting Philly in it because that's not how we do it.
Well, I'm just saying, but I want to pay homage to the sandwich. We didn't invent the fucking
Paying
sandwich.
homage to the sandwich is making it the proper way.
No, we were not brought up that way. Think about that. Okay, we were brought up.
Or then you can say it's a tribute to the
Okay.
greatest steak sandwich.
Yeah, it is. It is, and technically, it's not steak; it's like a flank. But I got you. I understand your point. But it's a great sandwich. I don't care how it's made. I would eat it the way you eat it, with cheese, with the stringy cheese or whatever, and it would still taste
It's not
great.
stringy cheese. I don't know what you're coming.
Well, the cheese whiz. Yeah, that's
But
what
it's all melted. It's
Yeah.
already in liquid form, like the Velveeta in the packet.
Yeah, but that's not real cheese though.
But yeah, no. But I mean, it's definitely not Velveeta. That stuff's disgusting.
Yeah. Now, the original cheese whiz that I grew up with would taste great on a Philly cheesesteak. I'm saying that cheese does not exist down here anymore. I can't even order it. Okay, but I've never had it on a Philly cheesesteak before. All right, I've only had provolone and white cheddar. That's it. That's the only cheese I've ever had on there. They tasted good. When I tried the other shit, it didn't work right.
Maybe you got some expired cheese. But
No. They make it different now. I was telling you, it's like a powder.
Well, sometimes like they might make it in a different plant. Like the Girl Scout cookies. The cookies that are sold on the West Coast are not. They don't come from the same bakery.
I see what you're saying. So depending on who makes it, well, that's how it is in foreign countries. In foreign countries, Mountain Dew tastes completely different than it does here. Totally different.
Yeah, so like you might be getting Cheese Whiz made from a different, processing plant or whatever the fuck it is.
Sweet pickles are of the devil.
What's a sweet pickle?
I agree.
Oh, don't even ask. It's horrible.
No, because I like pickles.
It's the ones you see. They're called like gherkins or whatever.
Oh, okay.
And then
okay.
you got the bread and butter pickles too, which I think are just absolutely terrible. But
I like them, but they got to be like super, super cold and really crispy.
Yeah,
like you got to be
I like
from
sour pickles. Only sour pickles. That's it. Like period.
Like I bought a thing of bread and butter pickles not that long ago. I just like to eat the pickles out of the jar. I don't need to put them on anything. And my kid got all kinds of pissed off at me because she can't drink the pickle juice out of that jar.
yeah, I have a special hatred for bread and butter pickles.
Yeah,
'cause
bread and
my
butter pickles
grandma
are
liked
horrible.
them,
Yeah,
and every time I went to her house, I would
they would
look
eat
in
them
her
with a
fridge.
fork out of the jar. No, all right. So Carrie, you're not wrong. Some women do put makeup on. Remember what makeup was designed for? Makeup was designed for prostitutes. All right, it was to simulate the sensation of being aroused. When a woman gets aroused, her cheeks get flushed and her lips turn red. That was why they designed makeup. It was for prostitutes to attract men. So the whole purpose of makeup when it was made was to attract men. I'm not saying that women don't put it on to feel good about themselves. I'm not saying women don't wear yoga pants to not feel good about themselves. But you can't deny that they're also doing it to attract the male and also to have other females notice that she's pretty.
Well,
women are
being
constantly
attractive boosts their
being competitive with each other.
confidence.
What'd you say?
I said being attractive boosts their confidence.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's both at the same time.
Well,
So
remember,
is that why we say like she go and horn herself up?
pretty much, that's why they say stripper shoes and stuff like that. But also think about this though too. Men and women are completely different. All right, women like attention. Men like to be left the fuck alone. They're completely different. Okay, you will find the occasional woman that likes to be left the fuck alone, and the occasional man that likes a lot of attention. Okay, that I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm just saying the normal, way that we are as men and women, we're completely opposite when it comes to that shit. Women love attention, whether
I
it's
can
from
vouch
someone they
for that.
love. Women, and I'm not saying that all women want attention for everybody, but look at Instagram, look at OnlyFans. You think they're doing that on Instagram? Like getting 200 DMs a day because they don't like it? dude, why do you think a short, ugly chick thinks she's a 10? Because she's getting 150 DMs a day with all these dudes saying, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Oh my God. Dude, you know, like they did this experiment where they put an actual male model on Instagram for 24 hours, put his GQ chest and his ripped abs and everything, shirtless, bikini, whatever. Then they took a non-attractive, very large, overweight woman, put in her bathing suits, whatever. She got over 480 likes. He got 112. He's a professional model.
I need to get fat.
Yeah, and be a woman. Yeah.
Oh, well, that can happen too now.
Yeah,
I mean, it's 2023.
What's with the fat shaming? So, like, no, and again, like, I'm under the belief, like, one of the things I get mad about, like, right, because, you know, I'm carrying a spare tire right now. And I was talking to some of my buddies. I was like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? Because I saw some of the pictures from the Philippines. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that I got a fucking spare tire sticking out? I'm like, dude, we thought you knew. Yeah. You know, but hey, like, dude, we're supposed to tell each other because in the core, like, it's a rule. Like, if you're seeing your buddy get fat, you got to help him get skinny. Like, you got to.
It's the same thing like we teach our kids. Sorry, my voice decided to go crazy.
Right.
But we teach our kids growing up to, like, hey, don't smoke. Don't smoke cigarettes. So then, like, even when I was a smoker, I've been quit for 2 years now. Thank you. But before then, you know, I would always have people, you shouldn't smoke because it's not healthy for you, and yada, yada, yada. I would get that all the time, where you get the jackasses who start coughing when, you know, the smoke's not even by them. They're just being assholes.
True.
But you get all those people, and they do it because it's unhealthy.
Eric.
Well, a lot. I know
what being fat is
see this one?
unhealthy. So telling somebody that maybe they should shed a few pounds is, to me, at least on the same level as telling somebody, hey, you probably shouldn't smoke anymore because you're going to die really early if you
I agree,
do.
Tulfer.
I mean, but look at what we're eating now. We're told our food chart tells us things are healthy when they're not.
Our food chart,
it's horrible.
It's
man.
upside down.
You know, and if you guys missed my corn syrup episode, like, I'm gonna write a book on this. I've already decided I'm gonna do it. Whether it gets published or not, I don't care. But I'm gonna write a book on this. Do you realize that they put soy in every chocolate that we eat? Did you know that? I can't find a piece of chocolate in the fucking store, Godiva or otherwise. And I went to probably 20 different stores that doesn't have soy in it.
That probably explains why I don't like chocolate.
I mean, I can't find almost any beef jerky that doesn't have corn syrup or some kind of modified food starch. MSG is almost in every single sauce-based product. It's crazy, dude. And then you've got modified food starch, cornstarch, and modified cornstarch. Those are all carbs. That's all they are. So I did this little experiment, right? If you take the average family feeding their kids their average food, even if they're serving 2 vegetables, 1 carb, a meat, and a drink, you're probably eating and drinking 5 servings of a carb because of modified food starch and cornstarch, or modified cornstarch and regular food starch. And MSG, some of those, and you're going to have corn syrup in your soda because most people drink corn syrup. So it's like
soda right now.
So, what'd you say?
I'm drinking some soda right now.
Read the back of it. What kind of soda is it?
Well, I got 2 different kinds here.
You know what's weird is that Mexican soda is healthier than American soda.
Hey, did you see that? She says in her country, she's from over in Europe. She says they put sweet pickles in all their burgers. That might be where we get it from. Is from European culture. That's interesting. It's quite for me to talk about this. I wish I could, but not in hamburgers. It's just disgusting. Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah, totally. Yeah, gross. Well, yeah, she was busy doing chores. So, by the way, this is what Joan. She's from. I'm a Fallout fan. Everybody knows I'm a Fallout fan. She's from one of the YouTube channels that I've been a member with for a very long time. I've known her for a very, very long time. Actually, she's really cool.
Hello.
You mean Fallout like the game or the band?
Fallout. Yeah. No, Fallout like the game.
Okay, because I also know Fallout Boy, and I was like, which one is he talking about?
Tolfer, I haven't looked at that yet. Thank you. I will go check that. I was wondering about that. I was wondering if dark chocolate's got soy in it. Let's see.
You gotta get to the African chocolate, man.
Yeah. Well, guys, I didn't have a problem in the Philippines. I was eating cake, pastries, fucking whatever the fuck I wanted. I was having grits and potatoes with breakfast. I lost weight and I lost inches off of my waist. No shit. By the time I left Makati, my pants didn't fit.
Well, you were also talking about how much you were sweating, and sweating will cause you to lose
understood,
weight.
you know, but I was working out the same. Okay, I didn't change my workout routine, and I was eating the worst food you can eat when trying to lose weight. Skinny.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna knock that, dude.
I mean, dude,
skinny
like,
as shit.
there's no way that we have as many fat people as we do in America just because people are lazy. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Yeah. Well, your name is also Skinny, so yeah.
Yeah, well, people think I'm fat because of that.
Oh,
They
because your
think I'm-
name? That's funny.
Yeah, and they're
Funny.
like, "Oh, he's fat because he's got to call." But no,
But-
I eat like hell, dude. Like last night for supper, I had a whole can. Where the hell is it? It should be up here. Yeah, here it is. I had a whole ass can of nacho cheese and spicy nacho Doritos. Like I eat like utter shit, dude.
You're
Like
Skinny
if
as
anybody should be fat, it should be me, but I'm not. I
Eric,
have that magical metabolism.
Well, hey, it won't last forever, so be careful.
Oh, it will, man. I'll be 35 this year, and it hasn't slowed down yet.
Usually, like my uncle was just like you, and when he got to his 60s, he finally started getting a beer gut. All right, Eric, on that point, let me tell you something. This is something I know for a fact. It is healthier to drink the natural sodas that have natural sugar in them versus the diet sodas.
Yeah, diet's nice, dude.
Okay. So diet has fake shit in it that your body can't digest. Okay. So when your body
rubbing alcohol.
Yeah, exactly. When your body ingests things that it can't digest, it either makes you sick or they turn it into a sugar.
That's what I was saying, that the Mexican soda is
The Mexican
healthier
sodas,
because
yes.
they actually use sugar, whereas we use the high fructose corn syrup.
Yes, they do. And hey, check this out. They disguise it. If you see lectin in chocolate and it doesn't say soy, that's soy.
Yeah.
And remember, soy has estrogen in it. Now, everyone always asks me, what about soy sauce? Look, I'm not saying eating some things every now and then are not bad. I don't use a lot of soy sauce, but I use soy sauce when I eat sushi and shit. But look, imagine if you're on a soy-based diet, right? You're eating tofu, you're using soy milk and white chocolate, which is pretty much all soy. Okay.
And you're
cream
watching
and
Captain
milk.
Marvel.
Okay. Dude, yeah. Before you know it, you're going to have man boobs and you're going to have characteristics that are feminine because you're eating too much estrogen. Men are not supposed to be digesting estrogen, not on high levels. Everybody has estrogen in their body and everybody has testosterone in their body. Men and women are supposed to be like this and the opposite.
So what you're telling me is we should all eat more mountain oysters.
Ha, well,
Ew.
you know. All right, Eric, what I gave up on a couple years ago, immediately lost 10 pounds, drank a lot of seltzer. Yep. Dude.
But back to the soy thing. So not all lectin is soy. There's sunflower seed.
Yeah, it'll say specifically whether it's sunflower or soy. I did see that. You are correct. But there are some brands, because I guess they don't follow the code, they won't put on whether it's sunflower or soy. And something else.
Eat it at your own risk. All right.
Eat at your own risk. Here's something else. Anytime you see modified food starch or food starch, it has almost 80% cornstarch in it. They just can use that term so that they don't, because when most people turn it over, they know that people have been told not to have cornstarch. Okay. Also, sucralose, dextrose, they're both corn syrup. They're just different versions of corn syrup. So one of them, I think it's either dextrose or sucralose. One of them doesn't have any grams of sugar in it. The other one does. So you can call it one versus another, but they both are horrible for your body. Because remember, corn syrup is the poop left over from corn. Don't forget that. Okay. And we've modified corn so much, it's not even real corn anymore. Yeah. Don't ever drink diet soda.
Stuff is really anymore.
All right, not every day. They are also diet sodas with Exidol, for example. That is true. Now, I don't know anything about xylitol, though. I don't know what it is. I haven't looked it up yet. I do know of its existence. I just don't know what it is. Artificial sweeteners are a molecule away from rest. Oh my God, he's right, dude. They're a lot like fucking what is that called? Cyanide. They're a lot like cyanide. Eating soy and watching Captain Marvel. Have you seen the soy ice cream? Have you seen that shit? Dude. All right. Exactly.
I have a bottle of Peeps Pepsi.
Peach Pepsi.
Oh, is that any good? I thought about picking it up.
It's kind of like a cream soda.
Oh.
Okay.
I had that Dr. Pepper that's like the strawberry and cream.
I
the
had
other
that
day.
too the other day.
Was it?
And
Was
it just
it any
tasted
good?
like it just tastes like Faygo Red Pop to me. I
Faygo
was
Red?
really
Yeah.
impressed.
You know, I saw a red cream soda the other day from this brand called Dantas, and it's not supposed to taste like Big Red, but it's supposed to be like a red cream. I guess they're saying strawberry cream. I guess, but
Yeah, they have. Yeah, you'll find red cream soda, and that's
Red cream
basically
soda?
just strawberry cream soda.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind a good soda coming out, a good cherry soda again, but I can't find one anymore. All right,
what I really like is that sarsaparilla, man. Like that.
Dude,
stuff is
sarsaparilla's
really
good. If you've never had sarsaparilla, guys, try it. All right, so this is gay father blows up school board. Check this shit out.
Evening. Every teacher that has a pride flag in their classroom should be fired and arrested. The gay flag is a sexual flag. It represents nothing other than sexual things. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning. What business is it of anyone on this board of what children would like to do with other children? It is none of your business. It is between them and their parents. Now you're sending out surveys that's asking students what their gender is, what their pronouns are, and whether or not you should be telling their parents. Could you imagine if my son or one of yours went to school and said, "Hey, I'm gay," and you never knew? I refuse to believe that any of you think that that's appropriate. Because if you think that that is appropriate, you would be a predator. Good evening.
Predator. Okay?
Groomers.
Like the movie Predator. All right?
The aliens?
No, Aliens is one. They're kind of in the same universe. Predator.
It's more like across a Predator and like Chris Hansen.
Did you ever see that video where Chris Hansen told the chick that she needed to eat more steak? I love that video, dude. That was a good one, man. She was like, "You're so sexist." He's like, "Yeah, I just think you need to eat more steak."
What I really wanted to see is like a skit where it's like Chris Hansen, like an actual predator walks in to catch a predator, and like they get like a legit predator, and like, you know, walks in with the full war gear and shit, like ready to throw down. I don't know. That crossed my mind.
Don't be tired. Don't be sorry. Look, if you got to go to sleep, girl, go to sleep. Bro. I know what time it is there. You have a good night, okay? Thanks for showing up and thanks for staying for so long. All the buggers of mine. Yeah, no, dude. I mean, like, and keep in mind. Remember, you guys know this, but some of these guys might not know this. But when I started this back in October, I didn't know 90% of the shit that I know today when it comes to all this crap. Like, a lot of this stuff is like shocking to me. And remember, I've seen piles of dead bodies, okay, rotting in the sun.
Ew.
And some of this shit just
blows
blows me away. Okay, I'm just like, I mean, I my brain cannot understand how some of these people, one, are still alive, and two, are considered to be normal in certain circles. It blows me away. All right. I'm trying to keep us under 2 hours, guys. So let's see if we can get through these real quick. Actually, I'll skip a couple because I want to talk to you guys about something before we get off. No.
Are we in trouble?
No. I've got some ideas.
We're getting a lashing.
He started it.
You're flogged. I'm going to flog you.
It was Eric's fault.
It was Eric's fault. This is what that guy lived through, you know? Those are dead bodies floating in the water. That's D-Day. So that, you know, he's walking past these, you know, Antifa, LGBTQ+. I know they're all the same organization, but he's walking past them and they're disrespecting him. They're flipping off the camera. They're not even like paying attention to him being there. They don't even care. Because honestly, those kids have no idea whatsoever the sacrifices his generation made so that they have the right to do exactly what it is that they're doing. Think about that. Okay, they're talking about how they're oppressed, and you'll see this one video of a chick say, "Women have been oppressed since the beginning of time, and it's all men's fault." Like, they got no clue, guys. They don't know. They know what the fucking difference is between the life of luxury they've had and what it was before, because most of them are like 21, 22 years old. They've never know what it means to starve. I asked this one kid, talking about how oppressed he was. I was like, "Have you ever not eaten for 7 days?"
Well, if it makes you feel any better, within the near future, we're going to have a global cataclysmic event, too, that's pretty much going to wipe out 99% of humanity again. Like,
I need
for
to
the
know
12th time.
Right.
And we're going to start over. So, it is what it is.
Do you have a date for that? Because I have somewhere to be.
No. I don't know when it's going to be. I know we're overdue for the pole. We're overdue for the pole shift. Plus, the moon has always had a decaying orbit. Eventually, that thing's just going to pop off.
Yeah. I mean, it's either going to smash back into us or it's going to float away.
So, like, not in like the next 6 months, right? Like, I'm okay.
No, we're good. We're talking about 500 years from now.
All right, yeah.
Now, there is a cult.
Those people, I won't be here.
There is a cult that believes the sun's going to explode in the next 2 years. So,
all right. Well, it needs to wait till I make this trip.
Right.
But no, but what I was talking about is legit. Like, there's evidence, like, of global catastrophic events from just random shit, just from space hitting us.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the problem with space is we never know if some asteroid is going to come and wipe us out. We never know.
I'm not talking about no biblical stuff like the apocalypse. I'm just talking about shit hitting the fan.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about that. I'm just saying, like,
I'm definitely team zombie though. I want that to happen.
It needs to happen.
Oh my god!
If that happens in the next 6 months before I go on this trip, I'll be okay. That's
wow. But you'll be able to go on your trip though. All right, so
I'm almost willing to trade my trip for zombies.
Right.
Don't tell him that because he will be very upset.
Oh, all right. I won't tell him. I promise. Okay, so men are scared to be men. Listen to this.
We need men to procreate. We need men to provide. We need men to produce. We need men to go to war and die. We need men. It's so bad now that men they're so scared of us. They're terrified all the time.
They're just scared.
With men. They're like, can I open the door? Can I touch it? Can I pull the chair out? What can I do? And they're shaking. They're sweating. And you're just like, be yourself. Just, it's okay. So much so they're now the most lonely demographic in the world, right? Like they straight white men.
I'm not on board with this trend, especially happening in schools right now. There is a trend where they are raising up the girls, girl power, girl boss, girl this, run like a girl. Yes, we want to uplift women. That's the right thing to do so that men and women do maintain equality. But at the same time, by raising the girls, we are forgetting about our boys.
Yeah, they want to solve inequality by enforcing more inequality. And if women were equal to men, then why do the girls need to be raised up so much?
Exactly. And then it's the same thing with the racism, though. They're fighting racism with racism now. So it's like, okay, well, that doesn't make any sense.
Homeschool your kids.
Oh, shit. That's right. Now they want free stuff for socialism has always been popular among the people that were young and didn't want to work. Socialism and communism always sounds great to the uneducated and, let's just say, unworldly people. They don't know anything better,
I will say I don't 100% agree with Carrie, though. There are some people out there who use their service as a shield for all criticism, and some of them are like really anti-gun and anti-constitutional people.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who've served as well. Some of them actually, went to like Afghanistan and stuff like that. Some other ones just sat in an office in the middle of Iowa cleaning out garbage.
I was just about to tell you that the ones that you're talking about, I say most of them, okay? Because I know some infantry guys that were just pieces of shit. But most of the guys, because I was infantry, most of your infantry think along the lines of the Constitution, law, order, the flag, America. Okay. The ones that are like we don't need no guns and the ones that are all woke and shit, they were the ones that sat in the office, and they were the ones that rode around in the Humvees carrying the food and shit. And they're very bitter and they're very angry because they got called pogues and treated like shit because they decided to join the military and not do something that was physical.
Yeah,
Okay,
like in today's current age, they're kind of on the same level of cops. Like, I'll respect them if they give me a reason to, but otherwise, like, I don't like the blind loyalty thing. That leads to problems.
Yeah, well, the only thing that I would say is about her saying everyone should respect those who used to serve their country. Now, I agree with you that there should be initial respect, but remember, not every person that serves their country is serving the country for the right things, Carrie. So think about it like this. We call it the 10% rule in the Marines, okay? You're always going to have 10% of the motherfuckers that are going to fuck up everything for everyone else. All right? You'll always have that dude that pulls the pin on the grenade and he throws the pin. They exist. Okay? Like, they're there. All right? So remember that. Like, and then on top of it too, you got to worry about this. This is what's fucked up is you'll have the stolen valor guys. You'll have the guys that are like, I've caught him, dude. I've caught him walking around in camis. And I'm like, hey, what the fuck? You're not military. He's like, what do you mean? And I'll show him my challenge coin. I'll be like, who were you with? What was your MOS? What did you do? When did you serve? Where were you stationed? And they're like, I don't remember. It was too long. You're wearing fucking camis.
But you also got to consider, like, serving the country. How do you define that? Because, like sending my brothers and sisters and our sons and daughters to die in Afghanistan has not benefited me one iota, and it hasn't protected our country from anything. All it has done is to serve a bunch of corrupt sons of bitches. Like,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong partially. Remember why we went originally. You were very young when it happened. Okay?
I know why we went. I still think it's wrong.
You were what, 12? You were 12 when it happened. So remember the towers. You were 12. You saw it happen. Okay.
He's not 12.
All right. Well, yeah, he said he's going to be 35. So,
oh, well, he was 12.
Yeah. He was
I
12.
was not.
Yeah, you weren't, but he was. So, like, we went over there under the misguided belief that they had weapons of mass destruction. And I'll tell you another secret most people don't know. They didn't tell us we were going, bro. All right. We didn't know until like 3 days before we were leaving.
No, I'm just saying, when people say they're serving their country these days, it's like, well, what are we actually serving? Nobody asks that anymore. And that's what I was kind of questioning. I'm not saying that everybody who went to Afghanistan was like a bad person. I think they were sent there for bad reasons.
We're not talking about serving the country specifically. We're talking about sacrificing your life, the future of your life, or the life that you're serving, right? Because dude, when you're in the military, you live under a completely different set of rules and laws, man. You're giving up your civilian life and you're joining the military.
But at the same time, we've got people who are actually giving up their lives to do things like some of these auditors are getting arrested and everything for exercising their constitutional rights and actually getting arrested for it and being put through hell because of it. And they're still are they not serving their country to some degree?
They're serving their country under their civilian purpose. Remember, serving your country is for military, but there are people that do provide a service that are very honorable.
But what I mean is, like, isn't that more important than like killing a bunch of sand people?
It depends.
And making sure that all the cops are, enforcing the Constitution.
Is that more important than D-Day or South Korea? Is that more important than liberating the people of Iraq? I talked to a woman from Iraq yesterday. She was 18 years old.
I think D-Day, that was kind of necessary because that was actually a world war. But I am an isolationist, man. Like, I don't think we should be messing with anybody.
But dude, come on, man. There's a lot of stuff you don't know, though, man. Like we killed Saddam and his sons. You know what Saddam's sons used to do?
Yeah, but what happened afterwards?
Hold on. All right. Saddam's sons used to have this competition because one was gay and one was straight. All right. So Saddam's sons used to make women fight each other to the death, and then men fight to the death, and then they would take turns raping them all night. That was what they called
I
fun.
know they're
They
bad
were,
people,
they were
but
some of the most sadistic evil people in the world. So you could say to yourself, well, we did liberate the people of Iraq, but then people of Iraq kind of put themselves right back in the swing of it. You know, they didn't really learn anything from their occupation. So now, did we need to be in Afghanistan for 20 years? Probably not. But the Afghanistan people are just like the Iraqi people, Iranian people. They're all religious zealots, dude. Most of them that are causing the problem, the 75% of the people that don't matter. The 25% of the people that cause a problem in the Muslim religion, the Shiite Muslims, they're the ones that cause the issue. And they run the country. Think about it.
Yeah, but what I mean
7% of
is,
the
like-
Nazis almost took over the world. 25% of the Muslims, that's 1.6 billion Muslims, right? So that's over 350 million Muslims that are Shiite Muslims. Okay, so did we need to be there? Yeah, we probably did. Did we do what we had to do? No, we didn't, because we had horrible leadership. So to answer your question correctly, did we do everything correct? No, man, we didn't. I agree with you 100%. We did. We should have done better. We should have been a little bit more,
I don't think we
I
should
guess-
have been over there, though.
well,
man.
dude, here's the problem with saying that, though. If we don't go stop them, they're going to come here and bomb our buildings. That's why we went. And they're
Well,
not going to stop, Skinny.
I don't
They're-
think they did that either.
They're going to keep doing it. Regardless of whether they did the buildings or not, the Twin Towers, I'm not talking about them. They do come over here and do bombs, man. They come over, they hurt us. Okay.
Yeah, and freedom is dangerous, Like,
It is dangerous, dude. You're right. But if we didn't make some kind of, again, I'm not saying that we made
But at
right
the same
decision.
time, like, why isn't it like, the neighbor's job to clean up the shit over there? Like, why do we have to do it? Like, where the fuck
you've
is
never been there, bro.
Canada?
I'm
Where's
telling
the
you, man.
UK?
There's just
Where
things
is
you don't know,
fucking
dude.
Germany? Where is Russia? Why
You're
do we
right.
have
You're
to
not
deal with
wrong.
this?
You're not wrong. I'm just saying they'll never do it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's not our fucking problem.
It is if they're killing Americans. That's when it becomes a problem. That's what.
But then we send Americans over there to get killed.
Yes, because that's what we're supposed.
So then more Americans die. Then no
But okay,
problem
but
at
there's a
all.
difference though. There's a difference. Men like me and women like me, we chose to sacrifice ourselves. So don't feel sorry for us. You never feel sorry for me, Skinny. I made a choice, and so did all my brothers and sisters. That's what we're supposed. You heard what she said in that video. We are meant to fight and die. That is our job. Now the people over here,
I
working,
agree. I'm
paying their
not
taxes,
saying that
all that
it's
stuff,
not
dude,
to fight and die is good,
They
but
did not
I
agree to
just
get killed. That you're going to
think
get
you
blown up
should
or
do
shot
it
or whatever.
for a better reason, like not
But
to
that's-
line some
but that's
politician's
debatable,
pockets.
right?
Uh,
That's debatable, though. It is. It's debatable. Now, again, you make very valid points. I'm not saying you're not making valid points, but it's all about perspective, man. From my perspective, what I did was honorable and it was necessary. Regardless,
yeah, I'm not
of,
saying it.
regardless
your
of how
intentions.
misled we were, because we were misled a lot. They didn't even tell us why we were there. We didn't know about that shit. We didn't know they had weapons of mass destruction. They never told us that. We thought we were there because of 9/11. We didn't think we were there for weapons of mass destruction. They never even told us that. As a matter of fact, when they gave us our green cards, we basically got a 15-minute briefing, and they were like, look, anything that moves, you see? That's all we were told. So, like, there's this common disconnect. That's one of the problems with Vietnam was they thought all the Marines and Army and Navy and Air Force were baby killers or whatever because the media made it look like we were. Okay? They didn't know what the fuck was going on in Vietnam. The fucking generals didn't know what was going on in Vietnam.
Yeah.
So, like, because Nixon was basically kind of doing his own thing at the end of the 70s or whatever year it was. And the people that were running Vietnam didn't know what the fuck they were doing either. But let's put a pin in that. We'll come back to that on another topic. But that is something good to talk about, though. Check this out, though. This is bad policing at its best. I love this video.
Well, we're just looking at your
Yeah, we're just looking at you.
Oh, what? It didn't go?
your
Oh, shit.
video.
Oh.
You're watching your own live
What?
stream. or
That's
something.
funny. Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm watching my own live stream. Stop screen. Why did it
I
do
was
that?
wondering, like, why what you were saying wasn't matching up, and then I was like, well, he did go to the Philippines, so maybe he picked up some tricks up there.
Ah.
The chain thing, back.
Oh yeah, I've seen this one.
You get detained for a minute. You imagine the description of someone trying to break into people's cars.
Okay.
What you see here is a perfect look into the ugly culture.
This guy's a
of
cop.
The dark side of police.
The guy with the tattoos.
That's got to go. My understanding is this guy was a burglary description, was never even the guy. He gets body slammed or suplexed, breaking a collarbone for simply pulling his arm forward. The obvious excessive force goes without saying in this video, but watch how he reacts. I'm gonna put the link in the bottom here. Watch how he reacts. This cop is acting like it's another day at the office. He's not worried about repercussions. He's proud about what he did. It just shows you how accepted and tolerated bullying and excessive force in this culture can actually be. It's sickening.
Yeah, and this is a touchy subject with me because a lot of people always like to preach and moan about the concept that only minorities are targeted by cops. I was one of the
This is what I'm talking about, though, bro. Like the people who were going after this kind of corruption, those are the people who are actually serving our country for the better, improving the lives of every citizen. That's what we should all focus on right now, because even the guys who came back from World War II, there's a story about it. They came back to like some town in Tennessee and they found out all the politicians were corrupt. And what did they do? They took up arms against the corrupt politicians and ensured a fair vote. And it surprisingly, nobody died, but they had like a firefight for like 2 days over it. And it was all a bunch of vets coming back and they protected rights and everything. So I don't know, man. Like that's
I mean, again,
this is
you're
dangerous
also looking
shit,
at it,
and we should all
you're
be
also
looking
looking
at
at
it
it from a completely different perspective, though, too, man. Like I can ask you one question right now. Like you told me that you've never been outside the country. Okay.
Well, I have.
Well, I mean, what part of the country did you, or what country did you go to?
Mexico.
Okay,
and Canada.
Okay, well, those are our continent, but those are relatively like America in some aspects. Not all of it, but relatively.
Mexico's a shithole. They got like people with no legs sitting around, and there's shit everywhere, and people are dying left and right. It's fucking terrible.
Where did you go in Mexico?
I don't know, a few places. I lived out in Arizona for a while, so we went over there.
Okay, so probably Tijuana, Rosarita, somewhere in there, and those are complete shitholes. Yeah. Okay. And then when you go to Canada, where'd you go in Canada?
Like BC and stuff like that.
Okay. So that pretty Americanized. Okay. So you saw a little bit of a shithole in Mexico. Now, that Mexico shithole you saw is nothing compared to like India.
No, but you know what is? Like the ghetto.
No.
Like I'm dead serious. I'm not trying to be racist. People of all colors live in these.
Yeah, but dude, I'm telling you, dude, the ghetto is nothing compared to India, Iraq, Afghanistan. The way these people live. Go
but
to
why
like
are we comparing ourselves to those people?
We're not. I'm saying like we live such a blessed life here that we're spoiled, and we don't even know how, like, a poor person in America, man, is a rich person in like Taiwan or Thailand. Okay. Like,
but why wouldn't we put more priority on making sure we got our shit straight, that less people are getting killed by cops and, having their rights violated and being incarcerated and all these corrupt politicians? Why is that not a top priority?
It is a top priority, and a lot of it
why
is
not mowing our own lawn?
Let me ask you this. Do you know how many people are actually shot per year by police officers? Do you know what the number is? If you had to guess, what would you say it is? If you had to guess.
800.
Okay, what do you think, man?
I'm probably going to say it's probably in the thousands.
No.
Are we talking lawful or unlawful? Because they do divide those up.
Add both.
Add them both?
Yep.
Oh, shit. Yeah, probably in thousands, maybe 15.
We've never, at least in the last 20 years, we've never been above 200.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's strange.
So here's the thing, okay? The concept that you're talking about is from the media. The media said, "Oh my God, lots of black people get shot." Yeah, actually,
no, I'm not talking about black people getting shot. I'm talking about.
Never mind. I'm going there. Okay, per capita, white people get shot more, and unarmed white people get shot more. But here's the thing: police brutality before we had body cams and cell phones was just ignored. So I'm answering your question. The reason why it's so bad, because I agree with you, 200 is too many. One's too many. But training is horrible for police officers.
Yeah, I agree.
Training. So like what's going on is remember it's all about the way
you have
it's
to
all about
take
the way you're raised, the way you're trained. So they
more
were
schooling
trained
and
and
training
taught.
to be a kindergartner teacher than you do to be a police officer, because I think it's just a 6-week program, isn't it?
6-week program, 6 or 8 weeks. But here's the thing, though. I'm answering your question. The reason why it's happening and no one is trying to do a lot about it is because we're fighting a system that's existed for over 100 years. Okay, and we just now got the technology to police the police. It's going to take time to catch up.
I think you're missing some other points that led to it too. I think like the blind loyalty thing also contributed to it.
You're talking about. I'm not talking about the police. The police have an unwritten rule to not rat each other out, even if they're breaking the law for whatever reason. I'm not talking about that. That's horrible, but it's truth and exists. Do you think some of that might be propaganda? How about they were? What part are you talking about, Tree Goblin?
The code of silence.
Huh? Code of silence? What? Did you
the
say
code of silence. When cops don't snitch on other cops, it's called the code of silence.
Oh, code of silence. Yeah. Did somebody ask where the UK was? Did I say that?
No, I didn't say where they were. I was just talking about like as far
I gotta
as,
go.
like,
I'm sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay, Carol. Right. You take care. Thanks for coming on.
Okay.
I'm just talking about like
later, Carol.
Later.
All right.
No, I know where it is. I was just like, where the hell is everybody else to solve all these problems that America has to solve? That's all I was asking. Like.
Well, I do agree. All politicians have seen people get murdered. So, no, Skinny, you're not. I mean, this is why I told you, man. That's why I wanted you on the show with me, because like you and I have contrasting views on this, which is good. These conversations need to happen. So like. And I'm not saying that you're necessarily incorrect, and you are right. I'm not putting in every factor, and that's something else we have to stop doing as a culture. I've talked about this before. Just because I don't mention something doesn't mean that I don't consider it to be a factor. It's just in one sentence, I can't put more than like 20 words, right? So you have to factor that in. That doesn't mean that there's not other contributing factors. The code of silence is one of the biggest problems with the police. It is. They let each other get away with shit. Dude, they did an entire documentary on police officers and what they get away with their partners.
Yeah, and it's just not just that, man. It's like, and it's not that I don't like other countries or anything like that, but I just think we should clean up our own backyard first, because especially like with the way the VA treats the vets and all of this corruption.
Yes,
like,
we treat like shit.
There is so much going on in the States that everybody is just conveniently ignoring. Like, at least from my perspective, it seems like somebody's worried about walking the dog while they have a grease fire in the kitchen. You know, like
it's like well, there's another way to say it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and you're not, again, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need this. Okay, in a perfect world,
I think
I wouldn't have to worry about my niece walking down the street. Okay, I wouldn't have to worry about that.
I'm 100% pro-gun, Second Amendment. Get all the guns.
I'm not saying you're not. What I'm saying is in a perfect world, if there was no violence, we wouldn't need weapons, right? We wouldn't need to have war. Okay.
I just think we need to focus more on protecting our people right now.
Look at that one. UK police fatal shooting 2021 2. You see that it's blown up way out of proportion, man. You know how many African Americans were shot and killed in 2021? I had a guy tell me it was over 1,000 because of the media. You know, it was less than 17.
I'm not even going by stuff like that.
No,
though.
I'm just saying, dude. Like that's total. That's not unarmed or armed. That's total. Okay, so like a lot of the things that you might be thinking about, I'm just throwing this out there for you to think about. Okay, because you give me stuff to think about all the time. So think about this.
I'm not cherry picking this, but I just looked up something, and the number that I'm seeing is saying that for 2023, it was 1,096 civilians were shot and killed by police last year.
What? No.
Well, that's the low number. I just Googled it, so I'm not trying to be biased.
Don't use Google. Number one, don't use Google. Number one. And number two, if over 1,000 people were shot and killed by the police, dude, there would be riots in the street. Riots in the street. So whatever website that is, that's
it does happen though. Like there's a video I was watching, and it just happened recently.
How many? Yeah, it does happen. How many states are there, bro?
This
how many states?
Autistic kid ended up calling the cops because I guess he drove and got stuck in a bush. and they scared the shit out of him and ended up like shooting him in his car for like no reason. It was insane.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, man. I'm just saying it wasn't over 1,000. Okay. Now, did it say killed or shot?
I just put shot. I just put U.S.
How many states are there? There's how many states?
There's 50 states.
Okay. So what did it say? 1,200. So what's
I
1,200?
would say there's 51 because I'd like to count Puerto Rico.
Okay, so there's 50 states. So what's 1,200 divided by 50?
Let me think.
This is why you got to be careful with this shit, dude.
Well, that's 24.
Okay, so if 24 people were shot and killed in every state
throughout the year,
don't you think we'd have a little bit more news stories? Just a little bit more.
You would
Dude,
think.
when one person gets shot in New York or Texas or Alabama, it's on the news.
Well, what
weeks,
website
dude.
should I look at though? Like,
yeah, you have to look at go check the census stats, and look at both the left leaning and the right leaning, and then try to find a central.
Doesn't the FBI have a?
Yeah, you can go to FBI statistics. You can go to general census statistics. Try to find both sides though. Okay, so find a left-leaning organization and find a right-leaning organization. And if you can find a non-biased organization, those are the best. They're always going to pad their sites. Like, for instance, let's say one cop shot one round in the air, but there was a multiple car pileup. That's a police shooting incident. If 10 people died in that police shooting incident, those are police died by gunshots because it goes in the stat. Don't forget.
I don't want to separate it by race. But
yeah. No, just don't do that. Just, I'm telling you, find a general census on death and everything. Dude, think about this. If they were shot and killed per year, do you know how many people die in America per year?
Oh, I know there's a lot of people because
No, dude, listen. How many people die per year in America? I'm about to totally blow you away. Okay? I'm talking about death, die per day in America. You know, people die.
See, that's the problem though. You start equating people to numbers and figures.
I'm just, dude.
24 is still a lot.
I understand it's a lot.
200 is still a lot.
No. I'm saying how many people die per day in America? You know?
Probably somewhere around per day.
Per day.
Probably 50,000, 60.
1,700.
Huh.
Per day. Okay? And that's actually up because it used to be like closer to 13. Now it's up to 17. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. But I know that
okay, Carol, take care. I'll talk to you soon.
I was looking up statistics, especially during COVID, and I was looking up because shootings.
COVID's the most violent time in our country's history, except for the 1970s, dude. So, you can't use 20 to 2022.
I don't know. I see evidence there's problems, and
I mean, there's tons of problems, dude. All I'm saying is that there's not 1,700 people getting shot a year and killed a year.
No, there's not. But you're what are you arguing though? Are you arguing that it's not a problem, or are you just? I
already said if one person gets shot and killed, it's a problem, man. What I'm saying is that it's not it's not the giant problem that. Why is it doing that again? It did the same thing.
It is a giant problem though. People are getting screwed out of it. It happens all the time. They have turned tickets and stuff like that. They have turned law enforcement into a source of revenue, man.
Well,
and that's terrible
just like prison systems are. You and I are in agreement on that.
Since its inception. It's an incredible problem, and it causes ghettos, and it causes poverty, and it grinds up the poor and keeps them there.
Ghettos and poverty is caused by hundreds of things. Police is just one of them. Okay, there is a lot of reasons. The main reasons why we have such a high poverty level is because the lack of fathers in the home. That is the number one reason, because we have a massively huge percentage of fathers.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about places I grew up in, man, and
well, me too. I mean, I come from a broken home, dude. You know, I mean, I'm one of the fortunate ones that didn't fall into the statistic. So
I'm not saying, but that is the problem. Is everything's just turn into a giant fucking meat grinder from
Yeah,
all the
that's
fines and the bails and
yeah,
excessive
dude,
shit,
exactly.
which is unconstitutional as
It is.
fuck.
It is.
And I'm
The
surprised.
judicial system is meant to keep you the way it is designed right now. The judicial system is meant to keep you in jail. Okay.
All the while, at the same
you and I are
time,
in
it's
agreement on,
designed to
completely.
let the poor, or not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
designed to let the
It's-
rich run free.
It definitely
because
does go after the poor, man. And
I was in jail for an unpaid speeding ticket, and it took me longer to get out than it did for some dude on his third DUI.
DUI, dude. Yeah. No,
because he just happened to have money. And
I
a good
got
lawyer.
arrested once, home on leave. I got arrested once because I had an outstanding speeding ticket from when I was 17 and I was serving my country. And the judge took one look at me when I was in court, and I told him, I was like, look, I was home on leave and you're breaking federal law by keeping me here. He was like, I don't give a shit. You got an outstanding speeding ticket. And I'm like, okay, I'll pay the fine. He's like, no, I'm going to make you sit in jail for 2 weeks. I had to write a letter to the battalion commander. I had to request additional leave days. I had to have the battalion commander call the judge and have the judge reduce my sentence for a fucking speeding ticket that I got when I was 17 as a Marine infantryman. You're preaching to the choir, bro.
I was trying to pay my speeding ticket. The cop fucked me over because the way they printed up the speeding tickets, at least in Alabama, they used that carbon paper. And legit, the next day, all of the ink disappeared on it. I didn't have a case number or anything. And I called the courthouse and I was like, hey, I need to find out when I got to pay this and, everything. And they said, well, there's nothing we can do. So you just have to wait for them to issue on a warrant, turn yourself in. And yeah, legit. I shit you not. That's what they told me.
Dude. That's so fucking bullshit. All right, here's the last video, guys. This guy's destroying CRT. Check him out.
It's called CRT anymore. It's called diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's called all these different names and labels because of how divisive of a thing that it is. And I think at the end of the day, the big thing here is that let's teach Black history. No one on the right is saying, do not teach Black history, do not teach slavery. If we forget those lessons of the past, we're bound to repeat them. But what we're also saying is that stop being vindictive towards white people for being white. No one alive today was a slave, and no one alive today owns slaves. And so for white children to sit in a classroom and be blamed for sins that they themselves did not commit is wrong. For Black people, for Black children to sit in a classroom and be told that because of the color of your skin, well, it doesn't matter how hard you try, you're really not going to go that far because the society hates you, and then you have all these structural barriers preventing your success.
Preach
that
it,
is
brother.
also wrong. That is not lessons of hope. That is not lessons of opportunity. And I think that is what schools should be about. You can't create the next generation of leaders if they are never capable of seeing themselves as leaders, right? And it's not often called CRT.
Because what they're doing now, everybody skinny, is this panel right here, that they bring on one or two of the people that believe in the right side of the argument, and 7 people that believe in the left side of the argument. And they try to make them look stupid. And so far, every one of them that I've seen doesn't work. They failed miserably. So I guess it could be good or bad. But anyways, Skinny, we've got to do this again, man. Seriously, I really enjoyed this, dude. For real.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, totally. And like I was telling you on the phone the other day, man, I know you and I don't agree on 100% of the shit. Now, we agree on a lot, but we don't agree on everything. So that's why, conversations like this, and guys, please listen to this. I can't stress this enough. Conversations like Skinny and I that we're having right now, these are incredibly important. And people don't do this anymore. They would rather turn around and run away or scream and yell at you and tell you to shut the fuck up. Or even worse, we'll have a summer of love all over again. Molotov cocktails and old people getting beat in the street by mass individuals calling themselves anti-fascists. Okay? That's what we have. Okay, that's what I wrote. And I think that's kind of what you're talking about, Skinny. You're talking about how we have all this shit going on here in America, and we're worried about the Ukraine, and we're worried about Afghanistan, we're worried about Iraq.
Yeah.
I agree with you, bro. I do. But think about this, though. That was I joined in 99. So we went in 2001. That was 22 fucking years ago that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So, dude, we're talking about 2 generations ago. Every 10 years, that shit happened. We're on a completely different wavelength now. We don't even dude, I was disappointed in Biden when he pulled us out of Afghanistan the way he did it, because I thought we should have been out of Afghanistan, 15 years ago. But
I do agree that if somebody fucks with us, we should just turn their fucking shit into a parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm
not a
experienced with that either,
pacifist. I just
Yeah.
don't like the idea of sending the people I know to die for whatever reasons.
I mean, but again, remember, man, like, I see your point of it. I got you. But guys like us, bro, I'm talking about myself, specifically my brothers and my sisters.
Yeah, but
Dude,
like,
we chose it, man. It's our life, dude. We look, we make that sacrifice for you and the people watching me right now, so that you guys can do what you do. That's what we're born for.
But
A
that's
lot of
what I
us
mean,
Marines, a
like-
lot of us Navy, dude, a lot of us Army, Air Force, we do it because we believe that we've been called to do it. I was the same way. And you know what? I would have had no problem dying for my country because I believed in what I did,
Yeah.
I really did, So, all right, yeah, we're about to go too. It was fun seeing you again. Thanks, all. Enjoy. Happy. Is it? Oh, it's International Women's. I thought it was okay. Cool. Happy International Men and Women's Day. Thank you. I really do appreciate it, Reb. Everybody, Skinny, guys, thank you. We went 220. I'm trying to keep the shows at 2. Okay. So we'll have to work on it. I cut down the news stories and I cut down the clips, but we also had guests and everything. And I want to work on bringing on guests, Skinny. I want to work on bringing on people to talk to them. I've got a couple people from the Philippines, a couple from Thailand. I've got some nutritionists I want to bring on. I'm going to see if I can get some of the guys that I train and the guys that I train with, and now some of the guys that I'm going to be training with Coach. I'm going to see if I can get them to come on and try to give some different perspectives on some things. So, but Skinny, I want to say thank you so much, man. Yeah, every time I talk to you, dude, we always talk about the coolest shit. So hey, we have got to talk
even
about.
if we don't always agree,
Of course not. Of course, dude. We've got to talk about some of that shit you were talking about last time, though. Like discover like skeletons and shit. Did you know they discovered a Nephilim over in what was it?
Are you talking about the Denovans or whatever they're calling it, where they found a couple of
giants.
teeth?
It was like a 20-foot or 14-foot skeleton. They found a sword that was 10 feet long lying
I
next
saw
to it.
the sword.
Yeah, dude.
I didn't hear about the skeleton though.
Yeah, he's either 14 or 16 feet or 12 feet tall with a
I-
10-foot fucking sword, dude.
The last thing I know about in regards to like Nephilim, as far as close to that as it gets, is the damn the Denovans. I think they haven't found a full skeleton, but they found like molar teeth, and they're fucking huge, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude. Here we go. Add as managed. Yeah, here you go. There you go, Topher. All right, drop your link, bro. Yeah, everybody, if you want to drop your link, drop your link. I mean, dude, I'm a nobody. All right, I got 350 followers. Okay, but look, you guys share your channels, do what you got to do. Remember, if you see any of my videos, like and share them if people need them. My main goal, honestly, is to reach people and to help people. So it's not about getting famous. It's not about making money. It's about helping people that feel like there is no light at the end of the tunnel. Like that's what this is about. Because some of the stuff you're talking about, Skinny, me and you agree 100%, bro. We've got to start focusing on ourselves and our country and stop worrying about the rest of the world. Like we gotta take care of each other, dude. Like something about the Philippines that was really amazing.
Well, like one thing that I think we could agree on is like all this stupid focus on slavery when slavery still exists right now. Like, you really care about slavery, but you don't want to talk about who made your fucking shoes?
Well, yeah, no shit, right? More slaves exist now than ever before. Now we do have a higher population, but Morgan Freeman said it best. We'll end it on this. Morgan Freeman said it best when he was being interviewed by that gentleman. I think it was on CNN, and he goes, "Well, how do we stop focusing on slavery?" Morgan Freeman was like, "We stop fucking talking about it. I stopped seeing you as a Jewish man. You stopped seeing me as a fucking black man, and we just see each other as men. It's real simple. This ain't hard."
We still have slavery going on today, but nobody wants to talk about it because it's making their iPhones, it's making their fucking Air Jordans, it's making their fucking
this thing right here.
Yeezys.
What's that ingredient, Skinny? What's that shit? That fucking rock that Africa's digging right now. What is that shit called? Oh my god. Dude, I'm forgetting. It's some rare element, right? People are dying from exposure from that element that's
Yeah.
making this foam.
But I will say, all of my products are made in the USA. And that's not me being patriotic. That's me caring about whether or not my products are ethically sourced.
That way we're making sure that they're not like some sweatshop or some shit.
I
All right,
mean,
guys. What was it?
I'd print in Mexico if I knew that they were paying their people all right and everything. So,
But they
like I
don't.
said, it's not a patriotism thing. It's that I don't want to pay for slave labor thing.
All right, guys. Guys, please be safe. Do good to others. Be wise out there. Keep your head on a swivel and watch your six, okay? Remember, more likely than not, when you're not paying attention is when something bad is going to happen, all right? God bless. Peace out. Lots of love. And